I'm in a podcast covering your favorite and unknown movies, games, comic books, anime, and more weekly. We appreciate you being here and hope you enjoy the show. Let's go ahead and get started.
Guess what? We're back. We had quite the hiatus, but we're back again. Just like herpes. We cycled back into your life
At the least expected times.
at the worst possible time. Graduation photos. All right, so I'm gonna start with a personal. Well, I guess all I have right now is a personal story for my. I forgot how we did this actually.
Segment.
Yeah, my segment. So instead of like some movie or the whitest kid you know, which will be next week, I have a story because of the fucking Canelo fight on fucking Mexican Independence Day that I went to go watch at my cousin's house, and the absolute fucking atrocious tribulations, I guess. Is that a good word to say? Trials and tribulations I suffered to get there, to get to a fucking fight.
This is your Underground Railroad.
Maybe not that bad. So it's
But it's funnier if it is that.
So basically, it started like as a normal day. I had to wake up early and go to work and open the store at 9. I bumped up to management, so I'm no longer a cashier. So hooray for me, I guess. It's also the reason why we haven't been. And so I just ran the store, and I was going to be off at 4:30. My 8-hour shift, and it didn't happen that way at all. Not only did it not happen. Okay, so I had to leave at 4:30. That's when I was supposed to leave. But also, I need to get to the south side and pick up my cousin at the flea market because he was there taking care of the place by himself and he doesn't have a car at the moment. So I'm basically his chauffeur all over the fucking south side. I'm like an Uber, but like a Mexican Uber. So like, hombre, I'm an hombre. Order that way. And so I'm like, okay, I need to leave at 4:30 because it takes me like an hour to get to the flea market from where I'm at. So if I get out at 5, because I still got to do all this stuff in the office, and then I can leave. So I'm like, all right, if I leave at 5, I can get to him like at 5:50. And then we just go straight to my cousin's house, our cousin's house, and we can watch the fight, the Canelo fight. And they have all this food, right? And for some reason, no one came to relieve me, no other manager. And I'm like, it's fucking, 5:33. And I'm like, I was like, okay, I gotta go pick up my cousin, right? I told him, can he at least wait till 6:30? It's like, if I have to, freaking, it was just watching him sit at the curb of the street with the shops closed, and he just sit on the sidewalk, and he's just sitting there like, oh well, okay, I guess he's coming one day. And so the time just keeps rolling and rolling, and I'm like, okay, so then I had to call my cousin because it was like 6:10. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make it, so I called him at 6:10. And I'm like, you have to have a ride. You might have to find a ride because I can't get out of here for some reason. He's like thanks for fucking up. It's his family, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I guess I better walk the 20 miles to my house. Like, you're not going to ride. You should walk to your house, you lying sack of shit. And so it's fucking, the time keeps rolling on. I'm like, okay, if I can't make it to the fucking, pick up my cousin, can I at least make it to the beginning of the fight? Right? So I'm like, okay, and then it's like fucking 6:45, and I'm like, you guys have to be fucking kidding me. So the time just keeps fucking rolling.
Yeah.
Like now it's like fucking 7:15, and I fucking flipped out in the office, and I punched the desk. I was so mad. I had to fucking, I guess, redirect my aggression somewhere. So then I fucking sent a scathing text message to the group chat, our store group chat.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I didn't say anything too bad, but I was just saying how upset I was. Like, I told them. I may have lied and said that my cousin had to walk home. He didn't really have to walk. No, I had a responsibility to pick up my family. You ruined my whole day and all this and that, right?
Yeah.
And I just said all that. And if I'm expected to come in on my time when my schedule's up, I expect someone to come in on their time when their schedule comes up.
Or at least be able to notify.
I fucking flipping out on people in the group chat.
Yeah.
So then then all of a sudden everybody starts calling me, and I'm fucking hanging up on their phones. Like straight to voicemail. I'm so fucking angry. So then it gets to 8:30. And I'm like, wow, I've been here for 12 fucking hours. And here's another problem was that I was so excited that I thought I was going to get off early. Like, I can hold my hunger until 4:30 sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I had not eaten since 7 a.m. that morning.
Yeah.
So that was just like, and for some reason, I didn't feel it at all the entire time. And eventually, I get a phone call. And he's like, well, we got 2 options. We can get this guy from another store to come in, right? But he said the bus broke down at McDonald's. So he's not going to be able to, then he wants me to come pick him up in El Reno. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So you're gonna go pick up some random guy from another store,
At 8:30 in the evening.
right? And we close at 10.
Right.
So like I started having like a fucking like, and then the other option is just you stay the extra hour and a half, and then or I guess it would be an hour?
Yeah,
It'd be an hour and a half, and then and I fucking like I'm fine, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna close this fucking store down, but I don't want to hear jack shit from anybody. Everyone lose my fucking numbers. You want to? That's how fucking mad I was. No one fucking speak to me for the rest of this fucking weekend. So I was gonna fucking stay there, and then all of a sudden someone showed up like at 8:40. The person I fucking scolded, the one that told me like you got two options. Either I get this guy from because he didn't want to go pick up the guy, which I don't blame him. The guy was acting shady. Not only was the guy, the car broke down, his phone wasn't working, so he was giving my coworker he kept getting random phone calls from random numbers. That was the guy because he was borrowing everyone's phone at the fucking bus stop. So he left him there, right?
Yeah.
And he come to find out that he wanted him to pick him up, and he also had his bike with him, his bicycle, and it would not fit in his tiny car. So it would have been a terrible situation.
Yeah.
And the icing on cake to that situation was the guy that he didn't pick up was so mad he blocked his number. And I'm like, what's that gonna do to you, bro? He's like, it doesn't think I'm gonna affect him at all.
No.
So I'm like, I get to leave. So I leave like at 8:45, and I am fucking pissed. And I make it to my cousin's house, but I forgot where he lived, so I got lost. So I call him up, and I'm like, where are you? Like the most ghettoest of ghettos, just looking for this fucking house that I cannot find. And I kid you not, I think I went up the one street, right?
Yeah.
I skipped his street, went up the other street, so I went around his house without even noticing. So I finally make it to his house. I'm like, finally, where do I park? Because there's cars everywhere.
Yeah.
I park, and I park so bad that my cousin has to come out there and repark my car for me because I'm a shit driver. We go in, right? There's fucking pizza. I'm eating a shitload of pizza. There's pozoles, if you know what that is. I'm eating that too. It's like a soup with hominy seeds or hominy peas, I guess. What are they called?
Hominy corn?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got some beef in it. It's a green stew. It's delicious. And I'm eating all that, right? We're watching the fights. We're all having a good time. And like my stomach just gets tight. And like the Canelo fight is starting, right? After I'm like trying to and I had just drank. Not only did I eat the like 5 pieces of pizza, a bowl of pozoles, I drank 2 bottles of water, and I'm like I can't get comfortable in the fucking seat because I feel like I'm leaning, but like my stomach's getting pressed on real fucking hard. So I fucking stand up. My cousin's like, "You good, bro?" And I'm like, "I'm fine." I walk to the back and I fucking vomit all over the fucking backyard. Like fucking, I just blew chunks everywhere. I'm like, my cousin's like, "Here's some water, bro. Take some water. Here's some fucking lemon. Squeeze this in your fucking eyeball." Or just the randomest fucking Mexican remedies. I think stick this full lime up your asshole. So I'm just fucking blowing chunks. Like all the pizza I had, the soup, and like at first it was those dry heaves.
Oh.
And then you feel it like the piece of pizza like slide back out your mouth in like crumbs. But it was funny because like when I leaned over, when I went to the backyard, I was just like I looked up at the sky and I just let it go. Just looked up at the sky and I'm just like, just let it go. And I'm like, because I was like, I didn't want to fight the vomit, you know?
It's like that single tear coming down your face, like, fuck.
Because a lot of people are like, I can't throw up. I can't. I'm just like, just let this shit go.
You can't hold it like that.
Like, man, I'm just like,
not unless you're standing in the middle of a group of people. Then it's like, okay, I'm gonna try to fight this.
I wasn't in the middle of a group of people.
No, I meant like inside, like indoors.
I wasn't. I vomited in his bedroom, actually. No, we were outside. He had put up the projector and put up a screen, and we watched the fight on a big ass screen with no fucking volume because he couldn't get the fucking speaker to work.
No,
Quiet as hell.
It's so fucking bad.
And then some motherfucker was mowing his lawn next to us because I guess he was mad at the noise. And I'm like, we could barely hear his lawnmower though.
That late at night.
Yeah, it was fucking 11 o'clock at night. It was but it was our fucking screen. The fucking speakers when we got it to work was so fucking loud That's all you could hear
Yeah.
for like fucking. I think it was so loud that the fucking cops came and they watched the fight through the helicopter because you can see it from the angle. Because that fucking helicopter, that fucking police chopper was fucking going back and forth all over the fucking streets.
Yeah.
So after I threw up, I'm like, you think like, oh, it's done. You know, Canelo wins the fight. He was 5'7". The guy was 6'2", but he still beat his ass because he's just a better fighter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I guess I can take you home, cousin. He's like, bet. So, but they wanted to watch the UFC fight, the Sean O'Malley fight, which was apparently a snore fest. So we saved time there because I was fucking exhausted. I was starving.
Because again?
Yeah, because I was out of food. I was here's how you get through a bad day. Pick something, right? Something simple, and then if you can get to that simple thing at the end of your day, you'll make it. After I finished throwing up after the fight, as exhausted as I was, I had to drop off my cousin back to the south side, so all the way back to the south side. The one thing I never stopped thinking about was if I could just get home and eat this fucking orange I had on the counter, everything is gonna be okay. That's all I was. I just want to go home and eat my fucking orange, and that's all I wanted to do. So we leave, and it was fucking Mexican Independence weekend.
Mhm.
There was fucking crowds everywhere on the south side. I'm like, God dang, fucking Mexican flags on hoods of cars, the flags on the bed of the fucking trucks, fucking flapping in the wind. I'm like, Jesus Christ, there was just so much fucking like chaos on the streets, right? And there was people walking everywhere with no fucking blinkers,
Mhm.
no fucking indicators, no nothing. Ironically, the next morning there was a black guy in the middle of the street breakdancing with no shirt on, like he was just fucking tweaked the fuck out. Right down the street from my cousin's house. Like he was just fucking like bam, 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 and just fucking, you know those fucking like Just Dance movies or whatever? He was doing that.
Doing the pop lock and stuff?
Basically, yeah. With no fucking belt, and his pants kept dropping, so he was holding his pants up in one hand, no shirt on, and just fucking popping and locking. Anyway, so back to that night. I drop him off at his house. There's a guy in the middle of the fucking street fixing his fucking bike. It's one of those guys that has a bike with a fucking wagon attached to the end of it.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm like, hey, bro, what the fuck are you doing? So I fucking drop my cousin off. I leave. As I'm leaving, right, the guy's like flipping back over his bike and his wagon because he finally fixed it. And on the right side of him, to my right of the street, there's two people riding their bikes down that side with barely any blinkers on. I didn't see him until the last second. I'm like, what the fuck is that shadow moving? Like, it's two people riding their bikes back down the street. So I get off the I guess the neighborhood onto the main street, and I get down all the way to the fucking and I'm just like, this is it. I'm fucking done. This better be the last of this bullshit. And I'm driving, and I'm close to home, right? And this fucking homeless guy that I did not see, I kid you not, I did not see him until I almost fucking killed him. He was standing in the middle of the fucking street, right, underneath a tree, with nothing on.
Right.
So, it's always black as night. So it was even darker in that one fucking shade spot right there where like the moon was not hitting him.
Yeah.
And he was fucking, I guess he was just taking a shit on the sidewalk. He was fucking pulling his pants up. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but I barely saw him, and I fucking swerved to the left. I had swerved so hard into the other car's lane. If there had been a car there, I would have fucking smashed into that car.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to stop the car. I fucking pull my window. I'd be like, "Are you fucking?" That's how. That was my limit right there. I was like, "Are you fucking stupid?" Like, he was just standing in the middle of the fucking street. All his shit was on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Fucking pulling his pants after he fucking finished jerking off. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Like, who the fuck stands in the middle of the street in the blackest spot of that fucking street?
They always do that, though.
That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. Because I was so fucking geared into not hitting him.
Yeah.
Had I had more forethought, I would have honked my horn loud as fuck on him.
Yeah.
Just to fucking wake his dumb ass up or something. But I had to stop at the end of the street, right? And I know a crazy motherfucker like, "Are you honking at me?" And he fucking run to my car. So I had to back up and run over him anyway. So either way, I would have had to kill him.
The homicide either way.
Not homicide.
Manslaughter.
If he's fucking running at me, I'm gonna run his ass over.
I said manslaughter. We'll go with that.
And not manslaughter.
Just different degrees depending on which what order it actually happened in.
It wasn't premeditated. But man, I got home and I ate my orange and I went to bed.
So you actually got your orange?
Yes, that's the only thing that kept my
See, I was waiting for you to say I got home and the orange was just
shit was just fucking gone. It was hollow on the inside.
It was dry
That
out.
was the only good thing that happened that fucking day.
The orange.
Fucking hell, man. It's like you plan something right and just fate just fucking shoves a fist up your ass.
And then the arm to the shoulder.
Jeez, I was like, this can't keep fucking. How is this? Like, it just kept fucking compounding. I was just trapped in Murphy's Law all fucking day long.
You know, that is one thing I do not miss about retail in any way, shape, or form. Is having to rely on other people to come in.
Yeah, just for you to go home.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, whenever I worked at a car parts place, happened all the time. Where, you know, you'd be there at 7 o'clock in the morning, which I don't mind coming in early. It's not that big of a deal for me. But then, hey, so-and-so's not coming in. Can we get you to work till close? It's like, I'm not even making enough for it to make a difference at this point.
What time do they close?
10.
Jesus, fuck, from 7 to 10?
Yeah.
She's like, what, 13 hours?
Yeah. You stepping all the time.
I'd have been like,
Hey, where my employment right now, I come in at 6 o'clock and get off at 6 or 6:30 every day.
there you go.
I get my 4 hours of sleep.
I don't think I can survive.
Well, 4
I don't think I can survive 4 hours.
every day. See, that's the challenge for everybody. Try 4.5 hours of sleep every single day. You go to bed at 12, get up at 4:30.
Yeah, when you shoot up the fucking post office, let us know. Because you fucking started having hallucinations of a dog telling you, we got to shoot the post office. That's the only thing. So what you do, man. You shoot your dog. You got to shoot the I guess, like, you know, the son of Sam used to listen to his dog. You got to shoot the post office. That's what you got to do. You shoot the post office. Like, what the fuck? Like, if it just, like just ringing in your ear, like you're talking, I guess that would be insane if your dog just started talking to you.
Yeah.
Hey, man, what's up? You got to shoot the post office.
I will say, though, that there has been a shooting at the place that I've worked at, that I do work at, not at our place, but in the country. It has happened before.
Shit, I shoot the post office, man.
Not,
I don't know why you sound like a fucking stoner here, but you got to, hey, man, I'm your dog, man.
Hey, man.
Just gonna play fetch, man. We catch the ball, man. Then you shoot up the post office, all right, man? I'm like, what? Go back real quick. We go for a walk, you know. You give me a bath, shoot the post office, and then we go, you know, take a nap. I'm like, what? Stop for the first one. Wait, the third one. What's the third? What, man? What's it, man?
No, they put up, at my place of work, they put up parking lot monitors. So it's these giant solar-powered camera systems that have, like, scrolling text across it, where it's like, parking lot surveillance. It's like fucking RoboCop level shit.
We always see you.
Kind of, yes.
Oh, man. But yeah, it was a fucking day I had.
It was trials and tribulations.
Trials and tribulations.
Now, what was the moral that you learned at the end of the day?
Eat food throughout the day. Don't wait. You will vomit if you eat too much at once.
Don't eat soup.
Don't eat 5 pieces of pizza. Drink 2 bottles of water and a fucking bowl of soup, or you'll fucking blow that shit out your fucking mouth.
All because you didn't think that you were hungry all day, and then
That was weird. Yeah, like I was just working all day, and I was like, man, I can't believe I'm not hungry yet.
yeah.
And then, you know, shit just hit me.
But just people not like, I don't know if you've noticed it too, but for me even, it's an issue now where just people don't want to fucking come and do their damn jobs. It's not a hard, like, my job is not necessarily the hardest job in the world, but like, fucking come into work. Like, I don't feel like it today. I've never had that mentality of like, I just can't do it today. I don't want to do it.
I've had like where you're like you start screaming and you're then you go right into work.
But you going to work still. That's the difference. I don't know. Like, it's getting worse and worse and worse. Retail's always had a problem with it.
Retail's just retail.
It's just kind of just slowly went off.
It's one of those societal front lines where you're just in the constant state of dealing with on the entire spectrum of humanity.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, what fresh hell today.
But the one thing I will recommend, never ever ask, what else could go wrong? Because
Don't ever say like, it's real quiet today. Then the fucking horn from The Walking Dead will come in.
But if you ever, like, that's a lesson to anybody ever listening or anything, don't ever, ever, ever ask, what else could go wrong? Because the universe will show you. You know what?
Yeah, they'll fucking shut the computers off,
Exactly.
and then I gotta fucking somehow tell every customer they gotta leave the store till I fix it, and then they almost fucking lynch you.
Leave the store.
Fucking, I'm just pacing the fucking front store with pickaxes and torches. It's like, my God. You fucking gotta give my fucking cashier's M1 Garand from World War II. Hold this fucking line. Ain't no one getting through till we fucking fix this computer.
Calling the Abrams tank to come and defend it.
Fucking cashiers, all of a sudden dressed up in World War II uniforms, fucking sweating buckets. Fucking 6,000 fucking customers outside.
It's like they're getting ready to storm the beach in Normandy.
Or hold the beach like the fucking Nazis.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, God.
That's what I'm saying. The customers are getting ready to storm the beach.
We got to hold the line. Might not be the best thing to be fucking preaching Hitler stuff.
It's still funny, regardless.
It is still funny.
Imagine being. All you have to do is replace the retail store with the beaches of Normandy, and they're getting ready to storm it.
It's like, my God. Fucking me and one cashier and like fucking 6,000 customers.
No, see, that's my point though, where they take you by surprise. It's like, now you know how the Germans felt. It's the same level of like, oh, fuck.
I guess like, well, no, not related. I guess not really relatable.
Not morally relatable, no, but like just the sheer panic of like, fuck.
Yeah, just like, my God. I hate when they come in and they try to rip the door open like 10 minutes before the store opens.
Yeah.
And then they look around like, what the hell? And then they see like, oh, nah. Oh. They see when we open, like, oh, huh. Like they never understood what the concept of time before.
It is true though. They used to do that where I worked too. Like whenever I still worked in retail, where they'd come in and just shake the door. It's like,
no, open. Why? When they grab that trash can outside and fling it through the fucking door.
and if we had a employee that closed the night before, and you know how those doors, they have the locks that you push up into the top and then at the bottom. If somebody forgot to lock that top one,
they fucking smashed right into the fucking door.
Well, when they go to pull on the two doors, you see the top part bend a little bit. It's like, oh, damn.
Uh-oh.
It's like they're breaking their, they're getting ready to break in.
Squeezes in the gap.
Those old ladies do that shit. You go close the door in the evening time and they just squeeze in.
The old ladies, my God.
They're good at it.
They're good at just being like shoppers, I guess.
Yeah.
They'll be there like fucking 8:59, ripping the door off the hinges. I got shit to do.
And God forbid you open it at like 8:01. They're knocking on the door real hard and stuff.
Like a minute late, my God, you get a call from the fucking corporate. Hi, this is the CEO. What's going on? Your store's so closed, I see. Got a fucking huge fucking wall monitor of like doors with green lights, and the ones that are red are the ones that are closed. And he fucking presses the button and calls them. Yeah, weird ass CEO.
That we're probably getting to that point.
That store's not open. Here, give me the central time, please.
Though.
Give me 9:01. My God. He fucking rings the fucking store phone. The fuck's going on? What the fuck's going on?
Imagine like Mickey calling you, like I'm Disney. Oh, what the fuck you been doing?
Fucking hit some buttons and the phone blows up in my hand. Replace him with this clone. We had a clone when they signed the contract to work for us.
When you find the employee handbook, they took your DNA off of it and replicated you.
Well, that's why they need to scrape my ass off. Weird.
I wondered why they needed to see it.
Disney's an odd one. Oh, man. So, yeah, that was my story for a while. Next week is season 3, episode 6 through 10.
The whitest kid you know.
The whitest kid you know.
See, while you were going through all that kind of stuff, here I was enjoying myself in Chicago and in Indianapolis.
I was here fighting the good fight. Trying to hold the fucking White Walkers at bay.
That's bad.
It is what it is. I feel like the more, like if it stays calm, right, like your entire career,
Right.
the minute one snag happens, you're like,
Kind of you panic basically.
fucking douse yourself in gasoline, fucking light yourself.
Emulate yourself.
But when it just happens all the fucking time, you're like, well,
Yeah. Well, see, that's the one thing I do recommend that I think that everybody should have to work a retail job for at least a year just to become accustomed to stress and panic.
and just like how to deal with people.
Yes. That would be like, if that became a requirement that you have to work in retail at some point in your career.
Remember this woman came up to she called me at the threshold of the back room,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Excuse me, I'm looking for this item," and she had an item in her hand. Hey, could you look in the back and see if you can find it? And we both turned right, and just a fucking mountain. It's like, well, I could look, but it might take me a few days. And she's like, well, never mind.
It's just boxes stacked to high heaven.
It was funny because she said, like, do you happen to know if you have this in the back? And like, because I turned and I was like, well, and I just look over the fucking wall. It was like a fucking movie scene because it was perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you know if you have this item? And I just turned and I'm like, well, and it's like you can hear like, it's like a fucking Grand Canyon of fucking bullets.
You just see the wind whistling around.
Yeah, I was like, God,
It's like, well, never mind.
give me 5 minutes, man. Fucking jump into him.
Eventually, you almost get to that point then where it's like, oh yeah, it's right over there. It's like you just see it. It's like that far away travel that you got to get to.
Well, the easiest way is to work on the truck to unloads. You just see everything that comes on, like you, and then like they ask you, like, no, we ain't got it. No, we ain't got it. No. Plus, I got a good memory, so if I see something, I always remember it.
Yeah.
You happen to have this shampoo from 1947? Used to tickle my titties. I really enjoyed it. It's like I got the brand right here.
Then just start twirling your mustache. I got your snake oil.
Fucking chain her to the fucking train tracks. I see the Lone Ranger would never find you now. Oh man. Well, what you got for us?
Yeah, we do have a couple of things today.
Okay.
It's been I know I promised Independence Reno that I would get Golden Time done, and I will put out a standalone video for you specifically.
Golden Boy?
Not Golden Boy, Golden Time. They're two totally different kind of animes here.
I'll be watching Golden Boy on Crunchyroll.
Golden Boy's a freak.
He's actually pretty tame
Is it?
compared to me.
You gotta look at the comparison. Compared to you, maybe, but whenever he's going,
Whenever he's catching spit in midair.
exactly. Where Golden Time, on the other hand, is more of a slightly more romance comedy type show.
Romance in Golden Boy. Loves him some toilets to rub his face on.
Almost as much as your favorite anime of all time.
One Piece?
No,
Oh wait, case closed actually.
no, your other favorite anime, the one that's standing in a hospital room and jerking it.
Oh, fucking Neo Genesis Evangelion? Can't stand that shit, man. I don't know why I keep watching it once a year. Maybe one day I'll truly understand it.
It's a tradition just to piss yourself off.
I think it is. Like I don't know what it like compels me. It'd be different if it was like Akira, right? Which is like consensusly good.
Mhm.
Like everyone knows it's good. Everyone's seen it. It's good. And
But
like,
it's a
and
split anime.
I'm like that asshole that's like, ain't shit. And then one day, like, I finally watch it, I understand. I've done that with Neon Genesis, and I'm like, it's still fucking garbage. I feel like the guy that wrote it was like, my God, like he thought he was like his fucking whole body was on fire as he wrote it. And I'm just like, bro, this is the dumbest shit I've ever. One of those guys that's so grandiose, and he like in his own fucking like genius. He's like, it's just so good, and he doesn't understand like the actual like I don't know, like he just didn't understand the people or how they function, or that's the core of a story is the interactions of people, and he just like it doesn't make any. It's just a shy kid and some redhead girl, and then some other blue haired girl. So it's like supposed to be his mom that he has a crush on. It's a clone of his mom, and then some other older chick. I'm like, what are you like? Where's the actual like? I see the plot, right?
Right.
The plot is what you're watching.
Right.
It's those angels attacking, trying to recover Adam or Eve. I can't remember what. That's the plot. The people don't remember the plot really. They remember the story. The
Yeah.
story is, what is the story? What is the one thing you're trying to tell me in this story? Is it a kid trying to overcome the shadow of his father? Is it a kid trying to gain his father's trust, his love? Is it a kid trying to transition from puberty to adulthood? What's the story? And he never told me the story.
Right.
Like, all he told me was that he likes to watch little boys jack off on the little girls in hospital. I'm like, what the fuck is the story?
Because even for a lot of shows like say Digimon, right? Yes, Digimon. It actually had a plot. It had a plot, but it also had the story inside of the actual plot. So you got to know the characters themselves and the way they interacted. Like, you knew Ty and Matt hated each other at the beginning. They eventually became friends towards the end. But like, there's those interactions that you remember rather than just the overall plot.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Neon Genesis ain't got that.
No, I don't know what the fuck they got. He got stuck in the plot and he forgot the story. That's why, that's why some movies last forever and other ones are fade away.
That is true. He couldn't get the interhuman like
Anything.
dynamics.
The relatability of the characters
Mhm.
was never there for me.
I can see that though. That's why it's got everybody split 50-50. It's literally an anime that is split almost 50-50 on those that approve of it and disapprove of it.
Those that approve it don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That shit makes no fucking sense. Like, think of something grandiose like Interstellar.
Yeah.
And how like the sci-fi stuff was so fucking like profound, right?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, the story was a father trying to get back to his daughter,
Yes.
no matter how long it took. There you go. That's the I just told you how to tell stories in fucking 30 seconds. The plot was them trying to save humanity by traveling into space to find some information that some alien race left them, allegedly.
Mhm.
The story was a father trying to get back to his daughter.
Right.
There you go. I just like, don't take any fucking classes in master storytelling. I just fucking told you a master for fucking free. I guess if I wrote a fucking story that was a fucking masterpiece,
Mhm.
then you'd believe me. So I guess I better work on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Watch my OnlyFans. You can find my stories there.
It's like there's no
I wrote the grandest pornography. And they're like, damn, man, he knows how to tell a fucking story.
like they don't remember whatever happened. They just remember the story.
How good the story was.
It's like it's so good that they zip themselves up. It's like, you know what? This is a good
It's
story.
fucking profound. Fucking wipes himself, wipes his cock off, he puts his pants back on.
It's like,
I guess, but not really, because if you're in this context, whatever context you're in, you have to appeal to that context. So if it's porn, it has to be pornography.
but it'd still be funny if it was they came for only the story.
Right, but like, I guess like the story would have to be, well, the human sexuality, I guess.
Yeah.
And how freaky we are in the end of the day.
Like, which reminds me, P Diddy. P Diddy did.
I guess P Diddy he did. I'm trying to tell something hilarious, but I can't come up with it.
Did you ever see okay, the baby oil thing? Did you see about that?
Fucking 1,000 gallons or some shit. I'm like,
Over 1,000 bottles.
Jesus Christ, man! You just how dry?
For his freak offs.
How dry is your fucking days-long freak offs? Well, I guess Diddy's done.
And they put him in the exact same prison as Epstein.
Watch him fucking hanging from a fucking noose like Epstein was.
Exactly. No, remember Epstein killed himself.
He sure did.
You know, cameras went off, guards were asleep. He did all that. Don't worry. The diddler.
The diddler. They finally caught the diddler.
There's already people that have made those AI pictures of him with the Riddler suit, but the diddler.
Oh man, what a wild fucking time I'll be living.
Whoever's writing this episode for these shows, my God. All right, moving into our character spotlights. We've got 3 that all have the same name. And this is your character. It's called Hour Man.
Hour Man?
Hour Man.
That's what they call me, the Hour Man. My porn star name.
Only lasts an hour and he's never getting back in. All right, so Hourman is also known as Rick Tyler. He first appeared in 1985 for the second one anyway.
Okay, I was like, damn, he's younger than I thought, but I thought that was a really old one.
No, this is his son. The Golden Age one doesn't have a whole lot of info, basically.
Oh, really? That's wild.
Like, there's some info about him online, but nobody's ever wrote up like actual research stuff that I could go through.
Right.
So the first one, Rick Tyler, he was born the child of Rex Tyler, who was the first.
Rick and
Hourman.
Rex.
Yes.
Aren't you
Rick,
just
Rick and Rex.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, he had a fucking great dad.
Who was a successful hero and businessman. However, Rex wasn't a very good father, something he later admitted and regretted.
Beat the hell out of his son. 1 hour at a time.
With hour intervals. 1 hour on, 1 hour off.
Oh, yeah, you know, I'm going to watch that movie, The Grey Santini. So he bounces a baseball off his son's head. You know, you're going to cry? You're going to cry? You're going to cry? I'm like, wow. It's more brutal than I thought it was.
Oh, really?
Because, like, you see the parodies, right? But the real one, you're like, fuck, this guy's a fucking asshole.
So when Rex wasn't spending time with business, he was out doing his superhero work. As addicted to it as he was to the substance that powered him, Miraclo.
Wow, steroids.
This meant that Rick rarely saw his dad, even on his birthdays. And eventually, Rex wasn't even sure of the age of his son.
How old are you, son?
It's like,
11, 12, and 37 days.
Oh, really?
Damn.
It was no surprise that although Rick would develop into a well-balanced teen, he was consistently looking for his father's guidance and approval. Yet Rex could not see the role model Rick really needed, and he tried to push Rick's education to its limits, an endeavor that Rick didn't wish to pursue, and he constantly felt inferior to his father. It's one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Feeling inferior and everything. Rick became the second Hourman whenever the crisis on Infinite Earths threatened all of reality, and he used one of his dad's Miraclo pills to save the life of Beth Chapel, whom he grew quite fond of. His father strongly disapproved of Rick's actions, knowing the addictive effects of Miraclo, and tried to prevent Rick from taking up the Hourman mantle. Nonetheless, Rick ended up trying to join a team of other second-generation heroes known as Infinity Inc. Rex was able to temporarily convince his son not to, although Rick continued to try to persuade him. Matters became worse, however, whenever Rex, along with his teammates in the Justice Society of America, sacrificed themselves to fight eternal Ragnarok in Limbo.
Oh, yeah, we covered that story before.
Mm-hmm.
In one of the other characters.
Yep, with Wildcat.
Wildcat. I love boxing for the rest of for all the time. I didn't hear no bell. Been 6,000 years.
He's still just fighting.
And the other guys are like, damn, god dang, man. Don't you need a break?
It's like, nah.
These hands don't need a break. Well, these hands, you do need a break. You need to break some faces.
Instead of like, they don't need an actual like quitting break. They need to break.
They start shaking if they don't break.
When North
might have an addiction, actually. Starts going to a actual like psychological. I never knew my father used to. My mother hated me. She was a drunk.
He's like, no, I have an addiction. You know, like you, Hourman.
I'm like, what the fuck?
My addiction is breaking.
Wouldn't the Hourman like run out of pills eventually?
You would think.
Like, well, damn, I got no pill, but you fucking shitting out the same capsule?
It's just retaking it.
Yeah.
So fucked up.
Ew.
When Northwind and Beth Chapel came to tell him of the news, Rick ran away in grief.
Rick ran.
Rick ran? He was later kidnapped by the new group Justice Unlimited.
Eventually, Rick rolled. Just anything Rick.
And he was never going to give you up. Themselves former members of the Injustice Society and used as a hostage against Infinity Inc. Rick was able to escape, but in the process seemingly killed the wizard.
Damn.
Scandal.
He fucking socked him in the face and killed him. I said, God dang. Knocked him out.
Rick had a hard time forgiving himself, although it would later be revealed that the wizard was in fact still alive. The same thing I was thinking.
No way. He got killed, right? Came back as Gandalf the Off-White. No, yeah, 'cause it's not white. It's not true white. It's off-white.
Eggshell white.
Yeah. He comes back as pearl white. Just every white color. Every time you kill him, he comes back in a different white shade.
Arctic white.
It's like, God dang.
Every color that you can find a car in. It comes back as that color. Rick gave up the Hour Man identity almost as soon as he assumed it, as he angrily unmasked himself before a press photographer. Luckily, Lita was able to prevent the photo from being taken and took Rick away, trying to console him. Nonetheless, Rick wore his Hour Man outfit another time to attend the court hearing for the villain Mr. Bones, which is
Bones.
such a stupid name. Although Rick feared he was just as bad as Bones as well, fearing that the Miraclo pills had simply worked on an already violent urge whenever he killed the wizard. Although, eventually though, Rick returned to becoming Hour Man wearing an outfit similar to his father's in honor of him. Shortly afterwards, Infinity Inc. disbanded. Eventually, Rex and the rest of the JSA returned from Limbo, and he and Rick were reunited. In the meantime, Rick had contracted leukemia due to the prolonged exposure to Miraclo.
God dang. You think he had like kidney failure or something?
No, he got leukemia.
How do you get leukemia?
With the help of Rex's old teammate, Johnny Chambers, aka Johnny Quick, both Rex and Rick learned to tap into their superhuman powers without the use of Miraclo and instead using mind-focusing techniques.
So the chemicals were there
Yeah,
and just dormant? And
apparently, yeah.
reactivated them?
Yeah, where you could change it by will, basically. It's kind of cool. It's like, now you ain't got to take that pill no more. It'd be like, all the people that need Viagra, if they just didn't need Viagra anymore.
It just had a wheel that has cocked this.
The pills are, they're dormant.
The chemicals are there. You just gotta wake them up.
Father and son would only spend a short time together with whenever the villain Extant killed Rex and some of his allies from the Justice Society during the event known as Zero Hour. Tragedy kept on striking. Whenever shortly after his sweetheart Beth Chapel, as Dr. Midnight 2, was slain by Eclipso.
Well, damn.
Rick remained retired from the superhero business for a long time, and in that time he met the new android Hour Man. The android had been engineered by his time-traveling father from Rex's own DNA. Although Rick intensively disliked the new Hour Man, he was saved by the android whenever he transported Rick into the Time Point, a place where time stands still, so that he would be able to be spared from unidentified alien illnesses. The two would grow closer whenever Rick cured of his cancer and bestowed him 2 gifts. Due to a tachyon-enhanced hourglass, Rick was now able to occasionally see 1 hour into the future, as well as being given an hour with his dad in the Time Point. The Hour Man android had plucked Rex out of the time stream before he was killed fighting Extant, placing him in the Time Point, an area outside of time, for an hour. Whenever Rick was not in the Time Point, time stood still, but whenever he entered, he could interact with his father for advice or simple questioning, or conversations. It's actually kind of
Fucking depressing for his dad.
depressing for his dad.
Trapped forever. All I have to see is fucking you.
and in 1 hour loops. That would kind of suck for his dad. When the hour and the Time Point would be up, Rex would be sent back in time,
1 hour just to see the image of my own failure.
where he would fight and die. The transportation of the Time Point would be activated by a button in Rick's Hour Man gloves. Now cured of his illness, Rick assumed the mantle of Hour Man, adopted a new costume in the process, using a non-addictive form of Miraclo, and joined a makeshift JSA in defeating the Ultra Humanite after he stole Johnny Thunder's Thunderbolt. Rick, taking a brief visit to the Time Point to get his father's advice on how to defeat the powerful Genie, Rick remained with the JSA after this battle and began growing closer to Jesse Chambers, who was the JSA's business manager and also the superheroine Jessie Quick.
So he had a business manager?
I know.
Like press conferences and
They didn't just have Bruce Wayne funding it all like the JLA,
they gotta go to events and,
Comic-Cons and stuff.
fundraisers and whatnot.
Rick is still close to his mother and has a strained relationship with his cousin Rebecca, who runs his father's company, Tyler Co.
I don't like what do you mean strange relate?
Estranged.
Oh, estranged. I'm like,
Yes.
estranged from what?
Yeah. Like
Estranged from all my cousins. We weren't too fine.
When the JSA traveled with Hawkman to the Middle East during the Middle East country of Kondak to stop Black Adam, Rick was severely injured by one of the Nemesis swords. Realizing that he would die from the massive blood loss unless he was quickly operated on, Rick saw no choice but to transport himself to the time point where his father was. Rick quickly swapped places with his father, and the time point held Rick and his wounds in stasis. Rex was returned to the regular world and was left with no means of returning to the time point or how he could save his son. So
He's gonna sit there. I guess he was a. What if like he took the long way, right? And he had to go back and get his GED. Then he had to apply to community college, and then like a 4-year college, and then he like got up to medical school, and then he gets all the surgical stuff. And then he went back like 25 years later, like I'm back, son. I'm a surgeon now.
The answer once again came in the form of the android Hourman, who transported Rex and several other JSA members to the time point, amongst them the latest Dr. Midnight, Peter Cross, who was able to save Rick's life. The time used to save Rick also meant that Rex's time was up, and that he would have to return to the fight with Extant, back in time. Rick, however, tried to take his place so that his father could live again. Instead, the android Hourman sacrificed himself so that both Hourmen may live. So the android sacrificed itself.
So I got you, bros.
Rex retrieved the damaged Hourman's parts and is trying to rebuild him while Rick continues to operate with JSA. While returning in once more to Kondak to face the Spectre, Rick's friend Jacob Thunder tried to trap the Spectre inside of his magical pen, but was instead himself thrown into the fifth dimension. Rick, Mr. Terrific, and Stargirl ventured into the fifth dimension and rescued Jacob from the thralls of Quisp.
Wisp.
QWSP. Quisp. You know who Quisp is?
No.
He's one of those fifth dimensional imps, the way Mr. Mixie
Yeah.
Spitalik.
And Batmite.
Yeah. But he's that other like weird looking one, like where he looks like a little he looks like an imp almost. Like an elf kind of.
Or maybe just like the little alien from the Flintstones, the little green alien.
Where nobody else could see him.
Basically.
So, 1 year later, Rick is part of a newly formed Justice Society of America and is married to Jesse Chambers, now going by the name of Liberty Bell.
Why does Jesse Chambers sound like a porn star name?
Because you're thinking Jesse Jane?
No. I guess it's a Chambers.
Chambers?
Yeah.
It just sounds like a whore name.
Like, I don't know. It just it rings like a porn star. Now starring Jesse Chambers. 47th Anal Street. Part 17.
Of the epilogue of 200?
Bang Bus 99.
They were responsible for bringing damage into the Justice Society of America, and the trio defeated Captain Nazi. In the Watchmen sequel Doomsday Clock, Hourman appears with the Justice Society after Dr. Manhattan undoes the experiment that erased the Justice Society of America and the Legion of Superheroes. So that's the last time you see him.
Damn. So deuces, bro, I'm gonna retire.
Yeah. So, like the original Hourman, Rex Tyler, Rick imbibes the drug Miraclo, granting him super strength, speed, agility, reflexes, and durability for exactly 60 minutes.
It's weird that they never tell you it's a suppository. You find that out in panel 9.
It's just a scene that you just gloss over. You don't notice it. They don't ever tell you again.
He's just like, huh?
The nature of Miraclo's effectiveness has changed in explanation over the years.
You know those like mini Coke cans?
Yeah.
Like as big as one of them.
They just shove it up there.
I guess it probably would go by, you probably make it more, it would like go into system faster, wouldn't it? If you go so anally.
A suppository?
Yeah. Like,
maybe.
Like boom. Could be. And he's like, I got powers for 92 hours now. Instead of 60 minutes.
Just take to shove the whole bottle up there. So the explanation has changed over the years, at times being described as a megavitamin, a steroid, a chemical enhancement, metagene enabler, and a placebo, covering the release of metahuman potential. The latter, proposed by Johnny Quick, was generally dismissed by the Tylers. The effectiveness of the Miraclo varies based on the subject's age, physical conditioning, and frequency of use. Rick's description of his abilities rarely matched their depiction. While he described his strength as the combined effort of 5 Olympic-level athletes, he was shown doing considerably more.
Just like that one guy that like jumped over the thing and his cock hit the fucking pole. One of the 5 right there. Like, you know what's funny about like characters, right? Like Now that I've been reading more like storytelling books, like from like writers and stuff, like Stephen King, and like I started thinking about like how I would take a character that wasn't mine and what I would do with it. Like, so he gets his powers. He takes a pill, and like one of the side effects is addictive, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I would have to add that. Like, if they gave me like a fucking 12-issue run with the Hour Man, right? And I would like look at his mythos, and then I would build from that. Look at his family life, his like his. I have to look at his story, like what's his actual story, and then I can build a plot around that. And like I would probably have a story where Hour Man would be like in a real like he would have like maybe like a cabal of villains. When they find out that he's only has the powers for an hour, so they decide to attack him one day. Once they don't find his identity, but they just trap him somewhere, and so now he has to. He's getting like the minutes keep ticking off in the panel, like 1 hour, 40 minutes, right? And he's fighting, and he keeps trying to escape, and he keeps fighting, escape, and then he's got no choice, so he's got to take a second pill, right off the back of the first one. So now he's got his powers again.
Yeah.
But like now it's like a little strained, but nothing too grievous. But then they keep hitting him again, like like that Nightfall where Batman kept getting attacked.
Yeah.
It'd be like that, but like so then he takes a third pill because now it's been 3 hours. And they just keep hunting him, and they keep like fighting him, and it's like now like 6 hours in, he's 6 pills in. Now he is fucking tweaking. You know what? That's what I would do.
Like
I would push his character to the limit of what his mythos is,
right.
and he is just fucking tweaking his boss. Has 6 pills, and he's just fucking ripping. Like he's already killed 2 villains, so now he's really fucking going off. Like that's what I mean. Like you would take it. That's what writers should do. They should take someone else's mythos and see what you can push it to.
Because they did that with Batman. They have done that with him already before. You know what I mean? Like
Right, like they have like
but they haven't done it with a character like Hour Man.
right, because I just pick like some random like
Yeah.
it better be a good like writing process or a writing exercise. And no one's gonna see it. Just write yourself a 12-issue fucking script, 12-issue script of a character or some random. Learn as much as you can about a Marvel character, a DC character, not a main one, a small one. Learn their entire mythos, their entire storyline, or their entire plots, or not their plots, because you make the plots, their story, core, and then expand from there.
Like what they've done in their past, like what their family ties are and stuff.
And then you build your own story from that. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because I would have fucking Arrow Man just fucking blowing a gasket, 6 pills in, 6 hours fighting. Like his fucking like muscles are just fucking like bulging from the pain, right?
Yeah.
Of consistently being powered. Man, he'd probably be like, I'd probably leave the last issue with him in a wheelchair and just fucking ruin everyone's fucking day. 12 issues in, fucking Arrow Man's in a wheelchair because he overdosed on fucking drugs. No happy ending for you.
Go real dark with it.
Maybe.
He got him in like Betty Ford trying to get off of the pills.
Oh man.
Based on the depictions under its effects, Rick experienced the ability to lift or press 10 tons, run at speeds of 60 miles an hour.
Probably wouldn't make him that strong though.
So 65. They run at speeds 65 miles per hour.
See, that's I doubt I would add, but the 10 tons is too high.
Ability to leap from windows as high as 3 stories.
That I'd keep.
Reflexes enough to spar with super speedsters.
No, I guess I want to keep it almost realistic.
And the
just scraping.
Yeah.
The suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. And the durability to withstand superhuman blows.
Yeah, but not like
Superman level.
Right, no. Like let's say he gets hit by a bus and he fucking crashes into a fucking coffee shop. And he just gets up like he's like, damn, that hurt. Like,
yeah.
Like his ribs are cracked.
Yeah.
But he's not fucking dead.
Generally, Rick's used a single Miracle pill for action based on the dosage created by his father. However, the drug is more potent in larger doses.
Also, I wouldn't be able to keep making him stronger then.
Yeah.
If he keeps taking more as he keeps getting jumped.
Yeah.
So I guess I would have to compound his abilities. So I guess I would take. I guess I would add up to 10 tons, where he just punches one of the villains and kills them instantly.
Yeah. And see, this is another thing to add to that too. Though it lasts a fraction of the time of a single pill.
Oh, so it gets shorter.
Yeah.
Damn, so I would have some fun with that. Go down to like fucking like 20, like 15 minutes or something.
Yeah. During an attack on the android's Hour Man, a dual dose lasted Rick only 10 minutes, but enhanced the regular effects of his substantial margin, allowing him to keep up with the android, albeit temporarily.
So for them, 2 pills, 10 minutes. I'd have to expand that to more. like 45 minutes. It would
You couldn't cut it down that fast.
no, not that.
Because then it'd be like 20 pills for 20 seconds.
Yeah, he'd be fucking dead. His heart would be fucking pounding.
Once the hour time period is over, the drug metabolizes using into the user's system. Repeated dosage have limited, if any, effect until approximately 23 hours have passed, at which point the drug's effects return to full potency.
I probably just erased that part. You just haven't.
Well, no, it doesn't say that you can't use anymore. It just says the effect is not as strong. So, like, when you're saying he's taking more and more and more, he's having to take more pills within the shorter time frames the entire
keep
time.
his powers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Rick, like his father Rex, often noticed that usage carried psychologically addictive properties.
Perfect.
Yep. Even in physical addiction, if physical addiction was not an issue. Because of the rush from having enhanced abilities, especially whenever in conjunction with a superhero lifestyle, the period following usage was coupled with a feeling of disappointment, insecurity, and an eagerness to reach the next effective dose.
So level of withdrawal.
Rick struggled with this until joining the Reformed Justice Society. After reconciling with the android Hourman from the future, he was given a special hourglass which caused him to experience random visions of 1 hour in the future. The visions were extremely detailed and gave him information covering approximately 1 hour of time taking place 1 hour in the future. This process was temporarily painful, but granted a strategic advantage and allowed Rick to time his doses more effectively, allowing his hour of power to cover the entirety of
The hour of power. I'm gonna keep that too. The hour of power. Hey, baby, you ready for the hour of power? It's like, oh, Rick, please don't be crass.
to cover the entirety of the crisis contained in the vision. The hourglass on his chest was once able to take him to limbo, the limbo time point where his father was. Without Miraclo, Hourman is no more powerful than a regular human. He can only use 1 dose of Miraclo per day, as a long-term abuse may prove detrimental for his health.
Yeah.
So it's not that he doesn't take it because it won't have an effect. It's that
gonna fuck his life up.
yes,
I'm gonna leave him on life support issue 12.
Hourman's Miraclo is dispensed directly into his bloodstream by the hourglass ambulance embedded into his costume's gauntlets.
So it's fucking injectable? Oh shit, man. Come on now. That's fucking meth.
Heroin.
Fucking crack cocaine you're taking. Straight to the fucking veins.
Yes.
That's how his girlfriend would find his like secret. Like she would think he's taking meth.
Yeah.
She sees him fucking tying his wrist up or his arm, and she's like, Rick. And he doesn't want her to know his identity, so he just goes along and says he's a heroin addict.
That's so fucked up. So yeah, Hourman, you could take that to
Oh, I will.
to some extremes.
I'm gonna have some fun later. Just writing fun stories for myself.
Then we also have the android Hourman. So the android Hourman was created by Grant Morrison and Howard Porter. Its name is Matthew Tyler.
So it's an android?
Yeah, it's an android. Though.
Is it just as powerful as Hourman?
Yes.
Then I guess I'd probably just make an evil scientist, make a robot to equate his powers.
Yeah.
And just be never stop chasing him. So that instead of having a cabal, just be the android.
Yeah.
Like overwhelming him for 6 hours.
So this Hourman, the Hourman of the 853rd century, is an android, though it describes himself as an intelligent machine colony constructed by Tyler Chemorobotics, formerly Tyler Co. Although he is an android, he possesses the full range of emotions and human flaws that an ordinary human does. Nonetheless, the technology with which he was constructed is far more advanced and beyond anything conceivable in the 20th century. While the android was built, why the android was built is unknown, although it seems likely that he was in fact commissioned by the new god Metron, who sought to make it as a replacement and apprentice. Rex Tyler, who served as a biological template for the android, spent time in the future and was involved in its construction.
I wouldn't have him in the future though. Be no point.
So, shortly after its construction, Metron appointed Hourman as his heir and entrusted him with the Warlagog. The Warlagog is before you even ask.
I'm trying to think, like, what the fuck does that mean?
The Warlagog is an ancient artifact containing a map of space-time from creation until the end of the universe in miniature form. The Warlagog is in form of a stone.
I love to see. Let me in the writer's head. Let me find some, because it does not roll off the tongue at all. The Warlagog.
The Warlagog.
I'm like, bro, come on. Words have to like roll well,
And that does not.
or it's like that's why I can't stand those fifth dimensional imps.
Like Mr. Mixie Spittler.
I can't.
Batmite's the only one that.
Batman's the only one that rolls right. Always remember, writers, you got to roll right. If it sounds off, like maybe like if someone wrote the fuck like an Indiana Jones movie, right? Indiana Jones and the 15,000 terracotta Chinese soldiers buried in China, 17th century. I'm like,
The title's so fucking
and I would
long.
just be like, wait, just be like Indiana Jones and the terracotta invasion or something. You know, just roll it off right. Even if it sounds bad, if it doesn't roll off, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true though. It's kind of like even in the anime Overlord. There's one specific item everybody always mispronounces. It's Ganunga Gap.
Ganunga Gap?
Yeah,
That even rolls right. Ganunga Gap.
but it's a thing from Norse mythology. Like it's an actual like name, but it like as crazy as that is, Warlagog
Just doesn't
is
sound
so
right.
much more. It's so much worse.
The fucking Hecatoncheires is the wildest spelling I've ever seen, and that rolls perfect. The Hecatoncheires.
This is Warlagog.
The Whirligog. Get on that whirly bird.
So, in the form of a stone, has been lost for centuries on Earth until it was unearthed by LexCorp requisition team, and was dubbed
The requisition team.
and dubbed the Philosopher's Stone.
Ah.
Lex Luthor, not fully understanding the stone, used it to manipulate the alien Jim with his Injustice gang against the Justice Society of America. The Justice League, notably Batman, Martian Manhunter, and Superman, defeated Lex Luthor as Superman stood ready to destroy the Warlagog. A temporal, God, if I could even fucking talk today, a temporal split was created. Where Superman, to seemingly destroy the stone, the villain Darkseid would be able to conquer and subjugate the Earth. The corrupt Metron of that future traveled back along the timeline to gather a group of Justice Leaguers that would search for the stone so that it would, unknown to them, fall into the hands of Darkseid. A timeline in which Superman did not destroy the stone, however, did remain, and the counter to the corrupted Metron, Our Man himself, also traveled back in time, searching out the Leaguers that were searching for the stone. He was able to convince Green Lantern Kyle Rayner of the terrible future that would follow if they found the stone, and he convinced his teammates Aquaman and Flash, Wally West Flash,
Uncle Ben, that fucking quadrillionaire.
trillionaire, yep,
You motherfucker.
to try to stop Darkseid.
Just pay him.
Money.
Just pay him off, yeah.
The three heroes ended up in the alternate timeline in which Darkseid had won, and with the help of their surviving teammates were able to travel back along the timeline themselves to get a telepathic message to the Martian Manhunter who stopped Superman from destroying that stone.
The only thing that said, you're a bitch. Disappear back in time. Marshmallow like, what the
The Warlagog was handed to the real Metron, who passed it on to Our Man, who thereby outgrew his role as apprentice and became the master of time and hypertime, while retaining his membership in the Justice Legion A. And then Our Man would later be instrumental in the organization of the celebrations for the return of Superman Prime to the 853rd century. Our Man would use the Warlagog to transport the Justice League A into the past to meet the original Justice League, and would then send the Justice League into the future to participate in the form of Super Olympics.
What?
Yes, this is...
fuck is going on? This is as wild as the time that I played a detective game, a Japanese game, my bear in mind, where I ended up having to go undercover at a school, and I ended up having to work with a fucking dance troupe and make sure they win the finals. And like halfway through the game, I'm like, where the fuck did the murder stop? Where did the investigation stop? And I kid you not, I was helping these girls work on their dance routine so we can win the regionals. I'm like, when did I stop trying to solve this fucking murder? Because now I'm trying to fucking win the regionals and this motherfucking dance off. I will never forget it. Because like it didn't click right till like I was playing for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I forgot, wait, this is a murder mystery game. What the fuck am I doing? I'm like popping and locking. You know, like,
You're over here trying to help
And I'm
them become idols.
I'm making fucking like dance choreography for each of the girls. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
What about the murder?
That's what I was like. What about the fucking murder?
No, it's more important to win regional.
Man, when Japan gives you side quests, my God,
They're deep.
they're deep as fuck. They're a whole fucking game.
All right, so it went according to plan, except for the inclusion of the old villain Solaris, who placed a virus, dubbed the Hour Man virus, in the android's body that disabled his time-traveling abilities the moment he reached the past. Now the Legion was stranded in the past and the Legion in the future, or the League in the future. So you have the Legion of superheroes and the League of Justice League switch places, basically.
Oh, okay.
So the Hour Man virus spread to the Justice Legion and then to the rest of the world, which affected both humans and machines. The metahuman population became hostile to the Legion as a result, and they also had to deal with Vandal Savage. It turned out that the virus was the core programming of Solaris, and the Legion would have to create a body in the 20th century for Solaris so the virus could be downloaded into the new body. Hour Man was paralyzed by self-pity.
I've always loved Vandal Savage because he became super intelligent, right?
Yeah.
Way before early humanity, right?
Mhm.
So all his friends and family, and they're all just dumb. And he's like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, man.
Having to live through that for centuries and
Yeah, until
thousands of years.
he finally met some actual intelligent people. But man, it must have been a grind.
Ugh.
Like he's telling about like, you know, like the star systems and like philosophy, and they're just like, ooga booga.
He's like, ah.
It's like, you're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met in my fucking life. I hate to call you my brother. But here we are. Just you and me.
You know, there's people out there that feel that way. It's like, oh.
Why the fuck are we family?
So nonetheless, the Hour Man virus was overcome and Hour Man controlled back into the future. And as such, he and the Legion could witness the defeat of Solaris by the hands of Superman Prime, Superman M, and Green Lantern. Because it's Superman Prime and then Superman 1 million.
Oh.
During the celebrations,
Wouldn't it be like Gold Superman?
Yeah.
Okay.
the gold Superman. During the celebrations, Hour Man reached into the past seconds before Krypton exploded and created a duplicate of the planet in the 853rd century. He then reached back and plucked the population of Krypton from their world in the seconds after the launch of Kal-El's rocket and before Krypton's final destruction. All this created a world of new Krypton where Superman Prime could live amongst the other superpowered Kryptonians, including his parents, as a gift from his comrades in the Justice League and Legions.
Okay.
So they created a Krypton of the future, basically.
Right.
After the celebrations had finished, Hour Man felt inadequate since he had been used so easily by Solaris as the carrier of the Hour Man virus. Deciding that he needed some more personal growth, he traveled back to the 20th century, since there he could truly grow, unlike in the wondrous 853rd century. Thus he arrived at the Justice League Watchtower, where he would serve as a replacement for Martian Manhunter, who was on a temporary leave of absence. Immediately upon his entrance, he made somewhat of a temporal snafu by asking if he had arrived before or after the invasion of the fifth dimension. He arrived at the Justice League Tower, having signaled ahead that he was coming. He did not truly fit in with the League, however, and used his time vision on multiple occasions to skip over conversations he deemed unnecessary.
Wow.
like,
That would be an introvert's best fucking weapon. Do I have to deal with people today? Yes. Like I guess I won't go outside then.
Eventually, a few members of the League decided to call on him and decided that Batman would be best to talk some sense into Hour Man. What the fuck you doing?
What's wrong with you, bro?
Although annoyed by their interference, he explained to...
I mean, I would find it funny that every time Batman talks to you, right?
Yeah.
The first thing, I'm Batman. Okay, here's what we do. Like, no matter what it is, it's the first thing I'm about to say, I'm Batman.
That's funny, though. Annoyed by their interference, where it's like, Batman's like, fuck this shit, I don't want to have to do this.
I'm Batman. This is some bullshit right now, I'm Batman.
But he explained to Hour Man the worth of thinking before acting. Hour Man took the advice rather literally and used time vision to learn the history of the Justice League through Batman's experiences. All the times he's Catwoman and all. From those experiences, Hour Man decided the best person to guide him through his personal growth was a former mascot for the League, the normal human Snapper Carr.
Snapper Carr?
Mm-hmm. Hour Man and the League found Snapper waiting for them at Happy Harbor Cafe. Thanks to Hour Man's unconscious manipulations of time, Snapper had received a premonition and knew that he would need to help him out. Snapper nicknamed the android Matthew Tyler and took him under his wing, and the two of them hit it off perfectly. After Hourman met the android Amazo, Hourman was convinced that he was even more of a liability than before. Snapper helped Hourman understand that he was having problems fitting into the normal world because of the power he wielded. He was practically omnipotent and could manipulate time as he wishes, never learning from his mistakes, and that was what was hindering him, not his lack of experience. Just as impulsively as he had acted before, Hourman concentrated on breaking down the Warlagog, the source of his almost omnipotent power, scattering its components. He still retained the ability to use his time vision and time travel abilities for an hour out of every 24, so that he was truly an Hourman now. He also kept the permanent abilities of Miraclo's strength and speed. So it's like, you know what? I'll knock myself down to where I'm only 1 hour powered, but I keep my strength and my speed.
So basically just a regular guy.
Yeah.
Or he's got super strength and speed now.
Yes. Just not the time abilities. He can only use those for an hour.
Oh,
24.
So that's how they can cop down. Now he really is the Hourman.
That was not the only effect his confrontation with Amazo had on Hourman, though.
His fucking evolution of character is him being Father Time.
Yeah.
That's how it ends for him. Now you take the mantle of time.
He asked himself if Amazo was the first android and thus Adam of the androids. Were they inherently meant to be evil? To find the answer to his dilemma, Hourman sought out Professor Ivo, the creator of the Amazo android. In his hour of power, he learned how Ivo and Professor Tomorrow had created the android Tomorrow Woman, who had broken her programming goal of killing the League and instead died as a hero. He revived her, and for the last 50 minutes of his hour of power, she continued that existence, cementing her status as a hero as she saved lives and lived her life to the fullest. She taught Hourman what
live, laugh, love, huh?
Yes, like literally the epitome of it. She taught Hourman what consequences his actions can have. In that short time, the two formed a connection that ultimately, when Tomorrow Woman disappeared at the end of the hour, it left Hourman with a hole in his non-existing heart.
Non-existing heart.
So while fighting alongside the Justice League in the war with the Fifth Dimension, Hourman met the Justice Society of America, and thanks to the feelings and memories of the original Hourman that he possessed, he felt a kinship with them. When asked by Jay Garrick, he attended the funeral of Wesley Dodds, the original Sandman. Together with the others present, he also dragged into the battle for the future Dr. Fate. At the end of the adventure, he joined the Justice Society. During this time, he often was simply referred to as Tyler. When Hourman met Rick Tyler, son and heir of the original Hourman, they fought. They would eventually make amends whenever Amazo, disguised as a future version of Hourman, cures Rick of the disease that he had contracted thanks to his Miraclo addiction. After spending some more time with the Society, Hourman left to explore the time stream more, but not before giving Rick 2 gifts, the first of which was a tachyon-filled hourglass that would give Rick the occasional vision of the future that would take place in the hour's time. The second of these was another hour with Rick's father, which we talked about already before. A recreation of Rex's old lab. Using a special gauntlet, Rick could travel to and from the time point to talk to his father, with time not existing for Rex while Rick was absent. Once an hour had elapsed, Rex would have to leave to fight Extant and meet his preordained death. So, he recently returned at the behest of the Society whenever Rick was stranded in the time point, mortally wounded. Rick was saved, although Rex's hour in the time point was up, and now either Rick or Rex was going to die facing Extant. Instead, Matthew gave his life and took their place, impersonating Rex with a hologram.
Oh, that's like, oh, okay, so it's all...
This is how the android...
From the android's perspective,
yes.
not Rick's.
Yes.
Okay.
Or it's like...
Yeah, which one's the dad and the son?
Leaving them with the hourglass in his chest to allow them to return home. Whenever Rex told Hourman that he was alive as any other of them despite being an android, Hourman replied that he appreciated that more than Rex could ever know, and asked Rex to give his wife his love before he returned to the battle with Extant. His broken pieces were retrieved by Rex, who attempts to rebuild him. And as a short time later, Rip Hunter said during the team-up with the JSA that the android Hourman would be gone for a relative year, indicating he may return. So, you get you get that like hope that he'll come back at the end of it. And then the last part we have with this is in the new Golden Age, the android Hourman is revealed to be the buyer that wanted to purchase the lost children from a time scavenger called Childminder. This is when we're getting into the newer comic books, so Hourman tells Childminder that his owner will not be pleased with the setbacks that she suffered. He and the Childminder later hear the sonic boom that Boom caused. Boom is the character. This causes both of them to lead the child collectors to recapture Red Arrow, Boom, Sparky, Pinky the Whiz Kid, Secret, and the Dan the Dynamite.
What fuck kind of random kid name is this?
Upon those with Red Arrow, I think Red Arrow is the only one that I would know because he's like Speedy almost.
Okay.
Meeting up with Stargirl, Airwave, Cherry Bomb, Ladybug, Little Miss Redhead, Quiz Kid, Robbie the Robot Dog, and Salem the Witch Girl.
What the fuck is going on?
Yes. Everyone but Stargirl is subdued by Hourman as he claims that he is trying to save the lost children from the complete obliteration. It turns out that the Hourman android was working for an adult version of Corky Baxter called Time Master. During Stargirl's fight with Time Master, Boom removes the Hourman's android brain so that she, Quiz Kid, and Robbie the Robot Dog can reprogram it. Once the Hourman android was reprogrammed, he blasts Time Master back into the time portal and sends Wig back to his own time. As he can't allow the lost children to return to their own time due to paradoxical reasons, the Hourman android brought the lost children to Stargirl's time. Sometime later, Hourman's accompanied Stargirl and Boom to the JSA headquarters, where Flash and Jacob Thunder comment on what could have changed following their fight with Perdegaton. Stargirl and Boom state to Flash and the JSA members present that the Hourman android shed some light on the time-related questions. So the last little part, just delete from your memory because it's just stupid.
What's going on?
The rest of it made sense for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like I told you, whenever they start redoing shit, they start messing stuff up. But yeah, he basically he can control time fairly easily compared to everybody else. Like the robot android version of Hourman is like way overpowered compared to them. There's no hour of power.
No fucking pill tweaking either.
Stuck over there on that crack, injecting it with your gauntlets, your gloves.
Get fired from your job because you've been taking chemicals to make your pills. Rick, I need you to see in my office. I need you to sit down, please. They cut you on camera here. You might tell me what's going on, and you see Rick just stuffing shit in his fucking pockets. Fucking just bottles of fucking chemicals and shit. Yeah, Rick, are you a drug addict?
No.
I mean, like if like the word drug and addict, yes, but like not the way you think. See, I'm a superhero. Rick, you're fired. I looked at the part like he was saying like I'm a superhero, and then he gets fired. Well, I'm a superhero. See, Rick, you're fired. Clean your desk out and get out by 5 p.m. please.
By 5 p.m.
You don't want to throw him out at the gate.
I would
Give him a chance.
Get the fuck lost.
Call security. Rick starts fucking flipping out. Has to pick up a desk. It's like a 300-pound fucking oak desk that the boss owns. I see if I take this pill, I get super strength. And like maybe he hasn't tweaked the chemical right, so that one's a dud. So it doesn't really work. So like, get security in here, please. Rick, please tell that was my father's desk. It was a gift before he died. One of those fucking fake ass fucking goddamn red oak fucking trees made into a desk. Like fucking 800 pounds. They had to fucking open up the window because it's a skyscraper. They had to put it in through a helicopter.
Let's see. All right. That is all I got for the character spotlight though this week. So it's going to be Hourglass. Hourglass.
Yeah, Hourglass suck.
Hourman.
The Hour of Power. Just call it the Hour of Power.
Just I'll title it Hour of Power.
Basically.
For our breakdown, or our deep dive, I guess is if you want to call it, we're going to Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about the Daedric Princes. At least half of them this time. We'll do the other half next week.
All right.
So, to start off, Daedric Princes, also known as Daedric Regents, Daedric Lords, Daedric Lords of Misrule, Lords and Ladies of Oblivion, and the second litter of the to the Khajiit. They're called the second litter.
Litter.
That's what they're known as, to the Khajiit,
Interesting.
or cat shit, whatever you want to call them. Are the most powerful of the Daedra, and thus most commonly worshipped as gods. Each has a particular sphere, which is said to govern. In fact, Demi Prince Fa Nuet Hin stated that a broad and well-defined sphere of influence that enables clarity of purpose and focused expression of will is what made a prince a prince. So them controlling a sphere is literally what makes them a prince. The various Daedric princes and their spheres are listed, what we're going to be going through. So Daedric princes may assume a typically masculine or typically feminine form, sometimes both. They are usually referred to as princes regardless of what gender they are, and they appear most frequently as. In all, there are 18 powerful princes known to mortals. And we're going to be covering, let's see, 8 of them today.
Yeah.
So 8 of the 18, basically. So we'll be covering Azura, Boethia, Clavicus Vile, Hermaeus Mora, Hircine, Athelia, and Jiggalag. Each Daedric prince, with the exception of Jiggalag, is said to have their own plane of oblivion, over which they have control. Proper oblivion realms, such as the main realms of each prince, is said to be infinite in scale. The realm of each prince is said to be fundamentally shaped and curated by their will and changed to accommodate their slightest whim, to the extent that it has been said some of the princes in the realm and some that the prince is the realm and the realm is the prince. So, like the Daedric prince themselves are their own realms. Like that's literally what the realm is them.
Quite the philosophy right there.
Yeah, a little bit. Though for most Daedric beings, creating a realm is an enormous undertaking and it requires enormous will and power. The Daedric princes are said to possess such might that in ages past they formed vast and practically limitless domains around the initial seed of the realm. As such, some of them are known to also have sway over adjunct realms or border realms, such as the infinite archive of Apocrypha, which lie within their plane's greater fabric. Some of these border realms have been described as having extensive or infinite scale, and not lying within the same time and space as the prince's main plane. The limits on their planes, powers, and influence are not readily understood, as there are over 37,000 other planes in the Elder Scrolls universe, such as the Soul Cairn, the Chimera of Dissolution, as well.
The airport there.
Thought.
Quite the fucking LaGuardia airport. There's a lot of planes.
A lot of planes. The kind where they're just flying in and out constantly.
I'm just doing a play on words.
I know. Over which they are not known to exert control. And indeed, there exists far more than that, with accounts from the Daedra describing the minor realms of oblivion as overall being infinite in both number and complexity. The planes of oblivion are said to exhibit infinite variation, much like the Daedra that inhabit them. Thus, it is said that they share little in common, being the very definition of change and variation, manifesting all possibilities and validating all understanding and misunderstanding. Indeed, it is said that there are that what the mortal senses perceive while in an oblivion realm is crafted from illusion and metaphor, the result of their mind attempting to make sense of the surrounding chaos. Because of this phenomenon, things like the grass one might perceive while in an oblivion realm are actually just a memory of that thing as interpreted by the mortal mind. The smaller planes are said to often twist into hypergenial paradoxes in an attempt to resist any sort of order being imposed on them, or wink in and wink out of existence, making it difficult for Daedra to gain a foothold there. The term pocket realm is said to refer to any minor plane of oblivion, whether it is autonomous from the rule of a Daedric prince, semi-autonomously under the rule of a prince-appointed functionary, or fully incorporated by a prince. The realms comprising oblivion are described as being part of a different universe or a different dimension in relation to Mundus, which is the mortal Aedra-controlled realm.
Okay.
The Daedric princes seem to view Min and Mur as little more than minor amusements, occasionally applauding the actions of mortals whenever they exceed their expectations. They do not know the mortal sense of good and evil and usually have extremist tendencies, which is why Mer and men fear them greatly. However, several princes do seem to take genuine pleasure in tremendous acts of devastation. In particular, Boethia, Malakbal, Vermina, Mehrunes Dagon, and Periite. Although the beings are considered evil by most, they are widely worshipped in the realms of Tamriel. Elaborate shrines are created to honor the Daedra as gods. They often take a keen interest in their worshippers, and it is speculated that this is either because of the obvious ego gratifications of being somebody's god, or because the Daedra like to keep an eye on potential future subjects. Assuming some of the demonic disposition enter oblivion after death, that is, there are many afterlife theories and religions in the world of Tamriel, though. Mainstream religious authorities discourage Daedra worship and often mount witch hunting expeditions to drive Daedra worshippers from an area. You do that as one of the Nords. You go through and just kill people.
Well,
during these encounters, they are often surprised by the marginal sanity that comes from worshiping the Daedra princes. For the most part, however, dealing with the Daedra, one gets the distinct impression of being amused over as a person peering under an upturned rock may momentarily wonder at the lives of the bugs living ignorantly there. The Daedric princes can be summoned, and there is a popular notion that the summoned lords will then give the summoner a quest or task to fulfill, that the quest, once completed, will make the quester richly rewarded. Which, you know...
that. I think in Merwin, if you find the statues of specific Daedric princes, they'll, because Merwin was a bit more, hardcore and not as hand-holding as Skyrim.
Yes.
And you really had to go out of your way to find these things. Because I found one accidentally when I was playing a game, and this huge fucking text box popped up, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I heard whispering, like because the Daedric prince was whispering in its own language or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was saying, and that huge text, because it's all done in like the same language of like the game. You gotta like pretty much like pull out the meaning of what they're trying to tell you to do. And then you go to your journal, and it finally tells you, like, oh, you got to go here and do this and do that. And you get this sword or something. But it was trippy finding it on your own. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And mostly if you found one that was populated with the worshippers.
Assholes were always angry.
Always well-armored, always getting ready to just destroy you every time you go in there.
But I didn't know that until later that I had activated the statue that had the Daedric prince talking to me. I was just like, what the fuck is this statue talking to me for?
So yeah, it does throw you off. Like you said, Morrowind was a much more harder core game than Skyrim. Skyrim is more for everyone.
Yeah.
Here's where the statue is.
Here's a fast travel. You don't have to go to a mage in this specific town to fast travel.
Oh, that was the one thing that bothered me a lot, but it's like it was part of the game that you had to do. Where you had to go to the Mages Guild every single fucking time.
You look like a Silt Rider, or ride those big ass fucking Ubers.
Yes.
Basically, like those bugs that look like fleas.
And they tried to bring those back in Solstheim, where they had the Stilt Rider.
I haven't played Solstheim that much. My cousin's dead.
Yeah, you can use the travel of a Stilt Strider. But it's like, fuck, you're really trying to bring this back from Morrowind, aren't you?
Or you be a dumbass like me and you kill one in a specific place, so you can travel to that one, but you can't travel out of that one. Because I killed the Stilt Rider. I killed the guy.
But see, you could do that, though, in Morrowind. You could fuck up your entire gameplay to where...
Yes, I know. I was like, fuck, man. And he never came back.
You can't do that, really, in anything to do with Skyrim.
They always drop to their knees like,
and then stand right back up.
Like, well, I feel better.
See, Morrowind would have let you kill Ulfric.
Look, they kill Vivek, too.
Yeah. Kill the god of that world. Or like the mortal god of the world, anyway.
Took everything you had, too.
But you could do it. You could definitely do it. However, this is probably not true of most Daedric summons, and the summoner would do well to consider the consequences of his actions in advance. A consecrated shrine is the most reliable conduit for contacting a Daedric prince, though there are other ways to make contact with the powers of oblivion. With Adra and Daedra are precisely defined, while Adra and Daedra are precisely defined, there are still some beings who challenge this dichotomy in their respects. Malakath, who legend holds was once the Adra Trinimac, is particularly hostile to other Daedra. He even created Scourge, Bane of Daedra. According to Mankar Kumaran, Lorkhan is a Daedric prince whose sphere is Tamriel, which was from Morrowind. However, this is uncorroborated, and little is known of the mysterious trickster deity. While some stories suggest that Lorkhan was impervious to death, similar to a Daedra, he is also credited with helping to bring about creation. In fact, for many sources, it was allegedly his idea. Obscure stories also question the origins of Meridia and Mehrunes Dagon. Just like with other beings, each reality along the many paths contained its own version of each entity, be they mortal or Daedra. Even deities such as the Daedric princes have their own alternate versions within the realities. These alternate versions are said to be reflections of one another, different in some ways like images of a cracked mirror, but originating from the same seed. However, there is at least one reality where concepts such as magic and Daedra do not exist at all. Like in the weird setup of
Multiverse or whatever the hell it is.
So the first Daedric prince that we have is Azura. Azura of the Crimson Gate, also known as Queen of the Dawn and Dusk, the Mother Soul, Moon Shadow, Moon of the Rose, Queen of the Night Sky, Twilight Queen, the Rim of all holes.
Weird.
The Cosmic Server, and called Azura by the Khajiit with an H instead of just ending in an A.
Oh, okay, Azura.
Yeah. Is a Daedric prince whose sphere is dusk and dawn, the magic in between realms of twilight, as well as mystery and magic, fate and prophecy, and vanity and egotism. Azura is one of the few Daedra who maintains the appearance of being good by mortal standards, and reportedly feels more concerned for the well-being of her mortal subjects than other Daedric princes. It is said she wants their love above all else, and for her worshippers to love themselves. It pains her whenever they do not. This attitude leads to an extremely devoted following. She is also one of the few princes who constantly maintains a female image, and is perceived accordingly. In Khajiiti creation myths, Azura is credited with introducing moon sugar to Khajiit, and this belief is also told within tales aimed at Khajiiti children.
Yeah, I didn't know moon sugar was illegal. I don't know if it was a shopkeeper or a cop that I talked to in the game, like one of those guards.
Yeah.
But when they found out I had moon sugar on me, I think the shopkeeper wouldn't make a deal or make business with me or something. Like, he would not like barter with me if I had moon sugar on me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? So you carry the sugar. I'm like, well, what the fuck is sugar? Because I didn't know it was fucking illegal.
Yeah.
You know, no one tells you when you first play the game, especially because it wasn't dropped on the Xbox. That was the first type of game like that.
Yes.
On a console.
Because I had never even played Daggerfall. I never played that.
Right.
It was on an older systems of computers and stuff. I didn't know anything about this. Like, Morrowind was my first experience with Elder Scrolls.
Like a deep-seated RPG.
And it drew you in automatically. But yeah, I didn't know about moon sugar either. It's like you go through, you get caught. It's like, you got moon sugar, huh? It's like, fuck.
When we're going to stand here and make you eat all of it. Like, oh, no. You're fucking high as a kite.
Looks like, you lost.
What?
Oh, you lost?
Well, damn. It's life.
All right. The 5 Songs of the King Wulfharth claims that Alondro Sol is the immortal son of Zura. While Azura is considered one of the good Daedra by the Dunmer of Morrowind, elsewhere, she has been known to be allied with Malak Bal, who is known to the Dunmer as one of the 4 corners of the House of Troubles. The people of the Iliac Bay region believe that Azura bewitches some of her followers to become her lovers and virtual slaves. Her followers acknowledge that
Sign me up.
Her followers acknowledge that she is cruel but wise. In addition to being one of her many sobriquets, Moon Shadow is also the name of Azura's realm in Oblivion. Azura Star, the Twilight Star, is visible at dawn and dusk, low on the horizon below the constellation of the Steed. Her summoning day is Hoggathum, a festival of the 21st of the first seed. Then we have Boethia.
Boethia.
Mm-hmm.
Boethia sounds familiar.
Or Boetia, I guess is how they want you to pronounce it, but I've always known it as Boethia.
Mm.
I speak English. I'm not going to go out of my way for that one.
Yeah, man. You say vine, then you see vineyard. It's not that complicated. It's many. It's also minute. What's so
Yes.
hard about that? And they're spelled exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Or tear and tear. Read and read.
I hate that one too. It's all about context, I guess,
Yes, it is.
in our language.
So, Boethia is also known as the Prince of Plots, the Daedric Prince of Cruelty and Torture, the Dark Warrior, Deceiver of Nations, Queen of Shadows, Goddess of Destruction, Hunger, and Fount of Inspiration.
That bitch.
He who destroys and she who erases, Boethia the Schemer, the Dark Mistress, and called Boethra by the Khajiit.
Hmm.
The Khajiit always have a fucking different name for these people. So the Boethia is a Daedric prince who rules over deceit, conspiracy, secret plots of murder, assassination, treason, and unlawful overthrow of authority. This fear is destructive in nature, and Boethia's destructiveness comes from inspiring the arms of mortal warriors. The Dark Warrior has been described as cold and impersonal, cruel, and one of the more demonic of the Daedric lords. Worshippers are known to hold bloody competitions in Boethia's honor, battling, even killing each other, for Boethia is said to care only for their blood. In Morrowind, the Daedra, known as the Hunger, foul creatures that are eternally bone thin, are associated with the prince.
Tails like green, I think.
I think so,
They
yeah.
look like little dinosaurs, if I remember right. They weren't because they weren't scams.
No, they weren't scams. That and those fucking birds.
God, a cliff pit.
Yeah, the cliff racers.
What
Yeah,
we're called. I probably killed like 6 billion of them. Yeah, then they'd be fucking extinct after what I'm doing with them.
they reproduce so fast.
Jesus, they must. They have to.
Boethia sees battle as a blessing and is frequently depicted as a great caped warrior, often in a stoic pose. While sometimes described as a male, Boethia is also commonly referred to as a female, sometimes within the same text. Notably,
Female with a swinging cock.
exactly. Boethia is usually depicted as a male in Morrowind, but is also known for taking the form of a Dunmer warrior queen. She rules from the realm of attribution share. Boethia often manifests using trickery, unpredictable avatars who can appear as male or female of any race. These avatars become involved with important or momentous events, working behind the scenes to achieve an outcome that serves Boethia's will. They will often challenge mortals, seeking to test the mettle of heroes and commoners alike. After a trial ends, the avatar is likely to vanish, leading to strange and mysterious stories and legends among the participants. Despite the dark undertones of Boethia's fear and influence of Tamriel, the prince was considered in Morrowind as one of the 3 good Daedra, and the anticipation of Almexia by the old tribunal temple and one of the reclamations by the new temple. The Prince of Plots has a scion, the demi-prince Fa Nuit Hin. Despite this, the information broker Madame Wim believes that the demi-prince did not actually originate from Boethia, while also stating that Boethia supports their claim of scionship. In the same interview, Wim would describe how Daedric princes have been known to adopt scions in the past. In the 5 songs of King Wulfhearth, Lorkhan states that the Nerevar is the son of Boethia, one of the strongest Patamaics, but it is unclear how literal the statement was. Malik Bal, as one of the corners of the House of Troubles, is considered Boethia's archenemy in Morrowind, and they are in a perennial fight. Boethia can be summoned on Gauntlet, the second of Sun's Dusk. So she's got a thing going against Malik Bal. They hate each other.
Yeah.
Then we have one of the better Daedra, Clavicus Vile.
So the guy with a Scottish accent?
No, that's what is his name again? Not the crazy one.
Okay.
That's the Clavicus Vile is the one that you get the mask of Clavicus Vile, where it's got the horns
Yeah.
with the dog. Clavicus Vile, also known as the Prince of Trickery and Bargains, the consummate politician of oblivion, the master of insidious wishes, and god child of the morning star. So you know who they based this off of. They based him off of Loki or off of Lucifer. Again, he makes deals. Is a Daedric prince whose fear is the granting of power and wishes through ritual invocations and pacts. He is seen as one of the more sophisticated of the Daedric princes, and often appears in the guise of a jovial Scaphan, a race of horned Daedra that inhabit the fields of regret, his realm of oblivion. Clavicus Vile is also known as Nikot. According to some, this name was created by the mortal Nikotic cult, who didn't have the knowledge to properly read the Daedric alphabet, misreading the first 5 letters of Vile's Daedric name as Nikot upon mistaking the runes for Tamrielic letters. However, the name was used by the Scaphan to refer to Vile over 300 years before the cult's prominence. Clavicus finds eternity to his boring. Clavicus Vile finds eternity to be boring, quote unquote. So he finds entertainment in watching mortals occasionally meddle in their affairs. He has been known to be the patron of vampires, gracing them with social stature, reason, and savvy, allowing them not only to live among regular mortals, but to hold powerful positions in society. However, not all of Vile's machinations are necessarily insidious. He has been known to reward those who, on his direction, eliminate threats to the general public, while still serving his own interests. So Vile is rarely seen without his loyal companion Barbas, the dog that he wants you to kill.
Oh, I remember now, yeah. That I could talk, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Barbas typically assumes the form of a dog, but is also known to appear as a scamp named Creeper. The two are so close, Barbas is almost universally depicted alongside his master in artwork and statuary. In fact, Vile has been known to store up to half of his power within Barbas.
Damn.
Which is why in Skyrim, whenever you have to help him, he's like, well, I might be losing half my power if I kill the dog. These facts have led to speculation that the pair are, in fact, 2 halves of the same being. It is said Clavicus Vile is the most carefully neutral Daedric prince, though he has at times created alliances, such as his role with the Triad. He is also the enemy of Ebornarm. Clavicus Vile's summoning day coincides with the New Life Festival, the first day of Morningstar. According to some sources, Vile views himself as a playful and fun-loving god who basks in the sun alongside his favorite companion Barbas. This mindset is said to be reflected in the idyllic form his realm takes, making his domain less a normal place like one would find in Nim and more of a state of mind. Despite the view of himself, Vile's games are noted as being dangerous, making caution necessary whenever approaching him. It's like...
He's all chills and thrills.
He's basically like if you combine Lucifer, Loki, and like a kid.
Basically, yeah.
Where he wants to be carefree, even though he's not necessarily carefree. And last one we'll cover for today is Noé's favorite, Hermaeus Mora.
Hermaeus Mora.
Hermaeus Mora, sometimes known as Hormius, Humus, Herma Mora, Daedra, Prince of Forbidden Knowledge, the Demon of Knowledge, the One Who Knows, the Master of Tides of Fate, Gardener of Men, Prince of Fate, Lord of the Secrets, the Keeper of Forbidden Knowledge, the Golden Eye, the Great Eye, Daedra, Abyssal Sephirolarch, Old Antecedent, Scryer, he who records all knowledge, an inevitable knower, Lord of Fate and Knowledge. He's got a fucking list of titles.
So that Ooze one?
Yes.
Okay, the tentacle one?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't like him. I like the book stuff, though.
Yes. That's why I said,
yeah,
your favorite one. Also known, I'd
be like, bro, you're fucking spitting on me. You keep talking to me. You're spitting all over me, man.
Oh, he's always like slush door.
Yeah, basically.
Also known to the ancient Admorans and Bosmer as Hermamora, the Woodland Man, or that which speaks in the wastes. To the Aelids, Hermamora, and the Khajiit as the Tide King, and Hermora. And the Daedric Prince,
also known as Little Wayne,
whose fear is forbidden knowledge. Hidden shoals.
Really? This is fear? I think he would love that shit.
Forbidden knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's afraid of that? Weird.
hidden shoals, whirlpools, and sudden squalls, destiny, and the scrying of the tides of fate. Weaving his way through the past and future as read in the stars and heavens, and in whose domain are the treasures of knowledge and memory. His curiosity is insatiable, and he seeks all knowledge, and not to change but to observe, so that all becomes known. He weeps cold tears at the plague of ignorance, where knowledge is forsaken out of fear of misuse, and seeks to enlighten all to all mysteries that have ever and will ever exist.
Man after my own heart.
You become Hermes.
Yeah, basically. That was the whole game just leads up to you taking his mantle. And he retires into oblivion.
Oh, no. The benevolence presented by his followers may be a facade, as Mora is said to hoard his knowledge and give nothing away for free. Like all Daedric princes, he's not to be trifled with, but he is subtler than most of his ilk and ensnares mortals with secrets. He may seem cruel at times, but he's not irrational. Mora hoards and safeguards any knowledge that could potentially endanger reality. Always lurking, he is the void that is ever seeking eyes. Mora has been called the wisest of the Daedric princes, with a mind as old as Tamriel and a body of slime, though he describes himself as the riddle unsolvable, the door unopenable, the book unreadable, the question unanswerable.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Who did it? The Diddler. He's covered in Diddler's baby oil.
It's me, the Riddler.
That's why he's so slimy. He's covered in Diddler's baby oil.
Fucking KY jelly and all sorts of stuff.
He is a tentacle monster.
There he is, though. He's hentai-tentacle for sure.
Unlike most princes, Hermaeus Mora typically does not take on humanoid form, manifesting instead as a black cloud of varied grotesque assemblages of eyes, tentacles, and claws, or a featureless purple vortex known as the Wretched Abyss. Though according to some sources, he occasionally took on a form resembling that of a mortal. He speaks with a thundering bray. If that's what you call it. I call it as a shout.
Thundering bray. You a horse?
That'd be a neigh, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess it would be a neigh, not a bray.
He resides everywhere and nowhere, but takes glee in tormenting mortals from his realm in oblivion, the plane called Apocrypha, an endless library where the infinite pages...
Sounds fucking awesome.
where the infinite pages of countless books containing all forbidden knowledge are found. Each book sports a black cover.
Blowing loads into those fucking books. Just put them back on the shelf.
Well, they're covered in slime already, so.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what he's been doing too. He's like, fucking, boom. That'd be so fucked up. You go to a library, right?
Yeah.
And you buy a book, or not, you rent a book. You go home and you open it, right? You get to one page where it's stuck, and you fucking creak it open, and you just then feel like a fucking cum stain. You're like, what the fuck? Kind of sick. You know, me just saying that. More than likely, with the amount of people out there,
Somebody has done it.
someone just fucking dropped a load into a book at a library.
No, I would not doubt that one bit.
Put it right back up on the shelf.
Huh?
If he was smart, he'd do a magazine instead. That really looks fucking different.
Just leave a wet stain.
Just a fucking like with that wrinkle stain. You're like, how the fuck did this get wet?
It's in the middle of the book. No other page is messed up.
And it looks like it's got a weird fucking crust to it too.
Each book sports a black cover without a title, and the realm is reported to be haunted by ghosts forever searching for knowledge. His servants include Daedra such as the Seekers, the Lurkers, and the Watchers. But it sounds like some pedophile or something. The Seeker, the Lurker, and the Watcher.
The fucking pedophile ring. There's three of them, the trio.
You got the Seeker, he finds them. The Lurker,
The Watcher,
follows him.
the Watcher looks at him like he's watching him all the time. No, so the Watcher watches him, right? The Seeker gets him,
Yeah.
and the Lurker, what does the Lurker do?
Follows him.
But the Seeker already, I guess, right. So the Watcher finds them, right?
Yeah.
The Lurker follows them home to find out where they live, and the Seeker goes and gets them. Perfect.
It's funny that it comes out like that. But he is known to have mortal worshippers too. Sailors and seafaring folk refer to Hermaeus Mora as the Tide King, master of the seas, and one whose tentacles rise from the deep, as being a being who lurks in the oceans and pulls vessels down into the abyss.
Jeez.
So kind of like the Kraken almost.
Fucking terrifying.
Similarly, the Khajiit, Harmora controls the tides and lives in a vast library under the sea. Hermaeus Mora is tangentially related to the origins of the Morag Tong by association with his sibling Mephala. Mora's enemies are said to be Urbanarm and Vermina, and the summoning day is the 5th of the first seed. And next week we will go over the rest of them.
Yeah.
And we'll start off with Hircine.
Hircine.
Mm-hmm. Hircine will be the next one.
I remember like just walking around with those fucking fat ass black books. So they couldn't even fucking read them.
I know. No title or anything.
Damn. I used to love I just love like if that would be my career if I lived in like Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Would be an antique book collector.
An antique book collector.
Hell yeah, like finding like an old, like the first volume of a book deep in the fucking ruins of an old temple.
Yeah.
Like if I got the book and I take it back to my appraiser. It's like,
Yeah.
my God, this is the 7th volume of Servidius Pluton.
Mhm.
And he spoke of astrology and astronomy. He was a genius at mathematics too. And I'd be like, oh, cool. And I just fucking flip through it. It's just like, oh, fucking, you just do a dick for some reason. Not one of these bitches. He just got bored.
Or they're interpreting something completely different from the book than what it is.
Like, that's a cock. That sounds, that's a solar ring. You know, that's a cock.
That's a cock ring.
Or sneak into some fucking mansion from some rich guy and steal his rare volume of like some fiction story written by some author.
Yeah.
I wish they would add like more book stuff.
Yeah.
If I got my Skyrim, I'd probably mod the fuck out of it to include every book from the other games
Yeah.
that's not in the
Because there are a lot missing, right?
Hell yeah, they always have like a general library
Yes.
of what they all get, and then something get like a specific book, like a specific like listing of books
Mm-hmm.
that only came out in Oblivion, only came out in Morrowind.
I think there's some that are from Daggerfall, and then what was the first one? Arena.
Yeah,
I don't know if Arena had all that extra.
I think Arena was just a straightforward, boring game.
Right.
Just regular.
Not really a true RPG game.
And I don't think so. Then Daggerfall wasn't really that true an RPG game either, but you could
Yeah.
go like damn near everywhere,
Yeah.
all over Tamriel, but it was all just generic fucking generated like backgrounds.
And Morrowind was the first one I think
The
that
first
actually had the
true-
lore and
Yeah.
everything associated with it.
But man, just I would add every book to Skyrim from the originals that's missing.
Yeah.
And just be looking for all of them. If I had a backpack like probably 800 pounds of just books,
You get your encumbrance.
basically it was all because of books. And like, so I leave this one, I got to read this one first, and I just drop it.
All right, ready to move into some Reddit for today?
Yeah.
I know everybody's missed Reddit, so the stupidity of these people. All right, first one is by Dead Dulash.
Ted Dulash.
Uh-huh. This person puts, recently my TV broke, so I decided it would be cool to replace it with a projector.
Burn my house down.
I know. A few days ago, the projector arrived, and I spent a few hours setting it up and playing around with it. Then, I had the bright idea to put it on one of those videos made for cats, the ones with insects, lasers, and mice, etc., to see how my cat would react. She fucking loved it.
Ripped it to shreds.
She fucking loved it. Naturally, I let her watch for about an hour before turning it off that night. She protested a little, but nothing too serious. The meowing,
Yeah.
at least not compared to what was coming. Over the next few days, I foolishly let her watch the projector a few more times, thinking it was hilarious how she got excited about her new toy. However, as time went on, she started to get a bit more vocal, growling and meowing to me to get my attention. I soon realized it was because of the ads. She was throwing tantrums because she couldn't stand waiting for the ad.
Everyone else.
Now she complains whenever I turn it off, or if she gets interrupted. And bonus points, my YouTube now thinks I'm a cat. So the title of it is, Today I Fucked Up by Turning My Cat into an iPad Kid.
Jesus, man. Even they can't stand the ads. They even got ads in the fucking pause. When you pause the damn video,
Yeah.
you got ads and ads.
Yeah, but you don't pay for YouTube Red though, do you?
Nope.
Or what that used to be called YouTube Red. Now I think it's what YouTube Premium.
I can space out for a few seconds.
See, I did it for the YouTube for Google Music because it was a bundle thing for a long time.
Cool.
All right, next one is by Shroom Talk. This person puts, I guess I'll put the part that you hate the most. The 19-year-old female
Okay.
Had no plans Friday night and decided to take a edible and go see the last showing of Aliens Romulus at 10:30 p.m. by myself.
You're a fucking genius, bro. When that fucking 7'9" goddamn alien fucking creeps out of the fucking corridor, you probably trip balls.
By myself, like any sane and normal person would do. I'd say I made it about halfway through the movie till I tapped out. The chairs at AMC are really comfortable, by the way, 10 out of 10.
Fell asleep.
Anyway, I wake up in the most confused state of my life. Takes me about 30 seconds to realize that A, the movie's over, B, it's about 1:30 a.m., and C, I'm all alone in the building and it's completely shut down, not an employee in sight.
Wait, then don't they always go in and check the...
After wandering around this liminal space while being absolutely baked, I finally found an exit door that takes you out to the back of the parking lot, out of the back of the building. I keep walking around the exterior of the building for what feels like a decade, trying to find the entrance.
Jesus.
Then, all of a sudden, I see what I think is at least the last 3 employees getting into the cars to leave. This story wouldn't be as funny if it wasn't for coming across them and hearing them talk to each other about how they would swear they checked the back seats of everywhere because of her walking around.
Right.
Where the fuck she come from? No words were exchanged between us as I walked past in shambles, just complete silence. Anyway, that experience alone was scarier than the movie itself. Could not stop laughing about it on my way home, though. Edit. Just to clarify to those who are concerned, I live in a college city where places are walkable. Driving is not the only means of transportation. So she walked home.
Right.
Because people were probably putting in the comments like, really? And you drove after all that shit? Because people are stupid. All right, next one is by a CGI for ants.
Okay.
This person puts, I'm an incredibly oblivious person. My own parents once switched up a rug I loved to lay on, and it took me over half a year to notice it. So anyway, as I've gotten older, I've started to drink coffee. As I've gotten broker, I went from $1.50 cans to a Starbucks instant coffee, and then finally I began questioning why I was sticking with this brand whenever, which was small, that I couldn't always find in a store. I saw a large container of coffee. It looked cool enough. And I'd gone through 2 batches of this over the past year. While I didn't drink coffee ritualistically, there was still an entire 365 days of me not realizing anything was up. Around this time, I started hearing more people talk about getting Keurigs, which I thought were strange since you could just use instant coffee in a kettle. But just thought it was one of those new trendy things, which they kind of are, but you know. The Keurig Instant Pot little coffee makers.
Yeah. Little like one shot of...
Yeah. So here's the routine I stuck to. Add coffee, then add boiling water, and maybe creamer. I mainly needed it to wake up, and over time the bitter flavor, hot water, and the crunchiness grew on me. I just thought the Starbucks coffee was extra nice, and that's why it was so smooth. And that this was what people meant whenever they brought up instant coffee. I've heard of coffee filters before, but they were for whenever you're using fancy whole beans or making Christmas snowflake decor. Eventually, just as I was starting to feel done with the game of waiting for the coffee grounds to sink and avoiding whatever side of the mug had some floaters, I came across a TikTok hack. It mentioned mixing creamer in cold water into the instant coffee so that it dissolves smoother. Dissolves. But I thought, it was only then that I realized that instant coffee was supposed to dissolve and that coffee should never come out with extra crunch. What I had been drinking for the past year was coffee grounds, raw and unfiltered, warts and all.
I didn't even question it. He said crunching. I'm like, I didn't even realize that you're not supposed to crunch your coffee.
Yeah.
It's a liquid.
Yes.
Because I don't drink coffee at all. So he just been eating fucking coffee.
So he's been getting like Folgers coffee,
Yeah.
those big tubs of it, pouring some into some water, thinking that it's dissolving partially.
Right.
But it is brewing because hot water brews the coffee, obviously. But it's the coffee grounds. He's drinking those things too.
Well, getting that little fucking extra little jolt of energy, I guess. Fucking chewing it like fucking tobacco.
All right. Next one is by Afraid Stick 2161. This person puts, a few years ago, I saw some advice online. Someone had posted a meme about feeling like they had a brain crayon up their ass because no matter how much they wiped, the TP was never clean.
Oh yeah, like those fucking endless wipes. The worst one when you have no friction, like it's gonna be a bad one. You need a little bit of friction because you know you're rubbing shit off. when you don't feel nothing, like, oh no. The worst is when it's like clean,
Yeah.
and then on the second wipe it's dirty again. You're like, man, what the?
Because we've all been there. Someone left a helpful tip in the comments, and it went something along the lines of, pro tip, spread your ass cheeks apart whenever you sit on the toilet. The seat will hold them open so your butthole points directly at the water, and you won't have to deal with shit stuck between your cheeks. Really cuts down on the TP usage.
Okay.
So for the past 7 years, I've been doing just that. And it really does work. I've been counting on I can count on one hand the amount of times I've been stuck with the endless wipe. But alas, that was a mistake. For the past few days, my butthole hasn't been feeling right. It's uncomfortable and sometimes even painful to sit, shit, or wipe. I use my phone camera to take a picture and look at my mildly prolapsed anus.
Jesus, man. Also, he's just been like you keeping it like it's been pushed out because of the way he's been sitting on it.
Yeah. I've never stuck anything or anyone up my ass. I don't frequently strain to poop. I can't think of anything else that could have caused this apart from exposing my asshole to the porcelain throne one too many times. I guess the human body simply isn't meant to shit like that. I defeated the curse of endless wiping, but at what cost? My poor butthole is suffering.
Like, ripped your butthole open is what the cost.
I'm too embarrassed to schedule a doctor's appointment. I've made my bed of pristine toilet paper, and now I must lay in it.
They've seen way worse. Never even bad to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
You can have a fucking crayon stuck up there. You were like, another crayon, huh?
But then they have an edit. And it says, thank you to all those who are more medically knowledgeable than me. I didn't know that a thrombosed hemorrhoid was. I thought it was, I thought there had to be blood for it to be a hemorrhoid. Still sucks, but at least I can try preparation H, and it's not a prolapsed anus. So they scared themselves, basically.
Yeah.
They just got a hemorrhoid. But they put the whole thing about how they spread their butt cheeks first.
Yeah, don't do that.
Just rip your cheeks apart and sit.
It was like that man would just say like, oh, so what you do? You grab a piece of tape, you put it on the end of one butt cheek, and then you stretch it across to your fucking your fucking thigh. There, that cheek spread. Take the other fucking cheek, you do the same thing, and then you sit on the toilet. Now you got both your butt cheeks spread. That's basically like the same damn shit he's trying to say.
Yes.
Don't do that.
The next one is by Adept Buffalo 3874. This person puts, today I moved the last bit of stuff from my old apartment, and after having a long day, I wanted to unwind. So I sat down by my laptop, by the only table I have, and went to my ordinary site for adult content. After searching through the cardboard box to find my setup, and after unzipping and getting down to business, I realized that the bedsheet I've been placing to cover the one massive window in my new apartment might not be enough to cover my private areas. How did this epiphany come to me at this moment, you may ask? Well, I had left the window slightly open, since it gets incredibly hot in here, and I heard my new neighbor on the other side of the lawn, with the balcony facing me, say, I think he's masturbating.
I would just be like, I would just move. Because you can never go outside and see this person ever, like, you face to face, you know? You just been fucking whacking your shit off. And I bet she's fucking jerking off right now. You can never you can't, like, that's the most embarrassing shit.
Oh, shit. And then thereafter, another voice speaks.
Oh, fuck. There's two of them. So now I gotta kill two people.
I was getting ready to say that. Yeah, you can see the silhouette.
Oh, my. He's just fucking.
Over there, hunched over like Schmeagol.
Time to fucking get a night job so they never see you in the day.
I quickly stopped what I was doing.
He said the last lines. I haven't been hard since.
Well, the funny part is, the picture of this though, you're the person that's looking towards the silhouette, and you just see him going to town, and you talking to your friend. It's like, yeah, I think he is masturbating.
I can see a silhouette.
And then you just see the silhouette stop. Like super quick.
So I guess he's done.
Because they even put, I quickly stopped. Dick's still in his hand.
Who's listening to me?
Stopped what I was doing, and now I am sitting here in my one-room apartment, wide awake, among cardboard boxes, IKEA bags, and garbage bags, full of clothes, and contemplating my life decisions. Unfortunately, I can't move once more. Whenever I just newly arrived here, and then the TLDR is I almost rubbed one out, and my neighbor saw my silhouette through the window. Like, make sure like, why is he backlighting himself?
I don't know. That's the weird part.
That's where he put the one lamp.
Oh, yeah, put that. I guess, yeah, you got to put it the other way.
You'd put it in front of the curtain,
Yeah.
and then it wouldn't silhouette you at all.
But hey, man, he's not a cinematographer, so he's lost his hell. It's like, fuck.
No, this one's just weird. This person puts, whenever I was 13 or 14 and I didn't know how to masturbate,
Who does?
a dude, I used to put objects up my ass for pleasure. It began with pins, marbles, etc.
Damn.
I really wanted a butt plug, but my mom regularly checked the online purchases, and there was no way I was going to buy a physical sex shop. So, but again, this is when he's 13, 14.
How would you? Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to let you in there, dumbass.
Like, you look like you 35 looking. You probably old as fuck looking. A 45-year-old man.
I used to have a huge box of Lego in my room, so I figured
I just build my own fucking build-up.
so I could go and make my DIY butt plug toys.
Yep.
I made some long cylinder shapes that I would put in my butt, an oil container that I used to put cooking oil in and use as lube, and the most important, the butt plug. I used a ball-shaped Lego part that was supposed to be a rock and a circular part for the base. I even put glitter glue based at the edge of the base to make it feel more real.
Oh, a crafty fucking masturbation. Jesus, he's going hardcore.
I know, with Lego and shit. Now I have learned from my previous mistakes whenever I almost lost a marble up my ass, so I secured the base so that it would not fall off. I used to have this plug in all the time from whenever I was going to parties, the beach, or walks, etc.
Jesus Christ.
Again,
Quite the freak.
dude, he's already a freak at this age?
Well, you don't know like how like the history, like how far he goes into the future.
That's what I'm saying.
Like he said he started at 13, 14, but he must have like progressed to like he's probably like in his 20s now.
Maybe.
He's going out to parties and, you know.
No, apparently not. The night before summer break in 7th grade, I was having a shower and had left the plug laying on the pants on the floor.
Wow.
Suddenly, my mom barges into the bathroom and says something that I don't remember, and she looks at my pants on the floor, obviously seeing the butt plug and awkwardly telling me to remember to pick up my pants. I went to bed immediately after the shower, embarrassed as hell, and the next morning I destroyed my butt plug and made another Lego butt plug toy and every other Lego butt toy that I had ever made. So he made multiples of these motherfuckers with Legos.
It's a goddamn Mark 27, like fucking Iron Man.
After that day, my family started to tell me from time to time that they support me in whatever I am, in whatever gender I love. They have barely ever talked about that before this. I am not gay, and I am still not.
Some guys love butt play.
And then there's an edit where it says, anyone know any websites that I can recreate it?
What, a fucking Lego? Why don't you just make another one?
That's what he's wanting to know, where he got the parts,
Oh.
the Lego parts, apparently for old stuff.
Where's the old Lego parts? I need to make my own fucking dildos. I always thought Legos were fucking hard, like rough shit, like shaped, you know, like
Yeah.
edges and shit. Like, how the fuck did you get a fucking smooth one?
Well, and then there's an edit too.
Fucking whittle that shit down. Boom.
So it says that, to clarify, whenever I used to take it out, it usually had poop on it. And that was the state my mom saw it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the first comment is, I'm the one who decided to open Reddit today. It's my fault for saying it. And now everybody else gets to hear it too. Next one is by, I swear, not a fetish. So it's a fetish.
Cool. He's about to get some wild fucking shit we're about to hear.
Well, wild, but I guess not the craziest you've ever heard from this. This person puts, I am currently in complete disbelief because I really never thought this could happen to me. I mean, for one, I never have wet dreams, and two, to have one during a 10-minute nap is crazy, in my opinion.
God dang.
So earlier today, I got off work late.
Must have been touched by Aphrodite herself.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah, like he's fucking. You know, you wake up from a Charlie horse, like that's basically it's a pleasurable version.
So earlier today, I got off work late. And then I had to run some errands, grocery shop, and whatnot, leaving me pretty tired, with not much time to sleep, let alone beat it. In fact,
Beat it.
In fact, that's kind of how things have gone gone for the last week. So I slept for about 5 hours before coming into work and woke up exhausted. This is gonna be your story.
Wake up fucking tired as fuck. I'm gonna.
From the moment I woke up, I knew I was in for a tough time at the job. I drank my coffee and energy drinks, but really I was looking forward to my lunch break. I knew at lunch I could sneak off to my car and grab a nap. So at lunch, I hop into my car, throw a jacket over my head, and lay there for 15 minutes without a second of sleep. Now, my mind turns to thinking into a pretty lady I know and some of her features, and before I know it, I'm asleep. I had myself a great dream, very restful sleep, until I wake up to the sensation of me coming in my pants.
Boy, the zipper just fucking tears. He's like,
Truly horrifying because I wore black pants. I wore black pants today. So it was pretty obvious what happened, at least in my opinion. So I text my boss and let her know that I have to run home because of an emergency. So I go home and change and come back. C-U-M.
C-U-M.
Come back.
Oh.
A round trip taking about an hour.
Like, for some reason, I thought it was like some acronym for something.
No.
I wasn't even paying attention.
I just meant, by the
I think
way,
I'm fucking falling asleep.
just told you.
I'm like, I wake up and I just, what the fuck? What if it's like a fucking like a verbal like a trigger in men's brains?
Yeah.
So he had one, and now like there's a specific series of words he used now pre-programmed in our brains, and
Where everybody will.
like every guy just like, oh, what the. Anytime we take a nap, we just fucking bust at night.
So I go home and change and come back. A round trip taking about an hour and return to a employee improvement plan. I guess it took too long.
Employee improvement plan. Wow.
Yeah. Because he
took too long. Yeah.
Yeah, because he busted a nut in his pants.
Hell, I would have just gone right back to work. So I had some, it's a tartar sauce. It's tartar sauce. I ate fish in my car. It's tartar sauce.
You gotta come up with an excuse or some kind.
Hummus.
It just smells.
I just spilled hummus. Plus, he made it sound like he fucking dumped a fucking bucket load. Like, I'm pretty sure like a quick like, little, probably just like a little splatter. Like he made it sound like he fucking just fucking let out a fucking.
He might have.
I don't know. Maybe he did.
Maybe it was a good dream. Who knows?
Maybe that shit was so powerful that shit just blew up. I guess it was like backage.
Yeah.
From all the other, because he was too busy to do it at all.
Yeah.
So it must have been just like the fucking backage of like the backage. The fucking nuts were just fucking all swollen up.
All right. Next one is by Twinkle Toes 171. This person puts, so it's Labor Day, which is basically a national holiday for doing absolutely nothing. I woke up that morning feeling well rested and ready to tackle some serious couch time. But as soon as I rolled out of bed, I noticed a slight tweak in my neck. No big deal, right? I figured it was just one of those things that would go away with time. Like the questionable burrito I ate last week. Spoiler alert, it didn't.
Maybe my fucking.
I woke up with it like where your neck is like kinked or whatever, and then throughout the day it's like
it just resets itself.
Yeah. Fast forward 3 days, the pain levels taking a turn for the worse. I finally decided I need to address this next situation. I was optimistic as I walked into the urgent care, thinking they'd probably just tell me to stretch a bit and send me on my way. Instead,
you got AIDS. Like, what?
Instead, after a quick examination and a spinal x-ray, the doctor drops the bomb. Your C3 vertebrae has slipped.
Slipped from fucking what? From a fucking nap?
Cue the dramatic zoom in on my face as I mentally replay all my activities the day before the pain started. How did I cause a vertebrae to slip? Feeling like a confused, stiff-necked detective, I'm just staring at the doctor while he's explaining my options.
Don't ever twist your body while you sneeze. That shit'll fucking kill you. Like, when you're stretching, you fucking sneeze all of a sudden at a weird angle, your fucking body just like seizes.
Have you ever sneezed though so hard that your back just pops?
I sneezed so hard I've almost bruised a rib.
Oh.
Back when my back was killing me?
Yeah.
Like, I tried to sneeze and like my body's like, if you sneeze, you're gonna fucking kill yourself.
All right. Let's see. All right. While he's explaining my options, steroid shots, pain meds, the whole 9 yards.
Dang.
I barely registered the sounds around me as I start going down the what could have caused this rabbit hole. But I was so desperate for relief from the pain that I just said yes to it all. Finally, the doctor asks me with repeated urgency, "Can you think of anything unusual that might have happened the day before that could have led to this?" At this point, I'm racking my brain like I'm on a twisted episode of The Price is Right. And then it hit me, or rather, it slipped right into my mind, a well-aimed frisbee that caught me totally off guard. With the realization surfacing, I flash back to my earlier solo excitement sessions. Specifically, the epic stretch of a marathon 2-hour session fueled by an embarrassing mix of cliterature and my go-go gadget joy toy. You see, in my fervent quest for personal achievement, I might have forgotten that my body has limits. And whenever I was getting spicy with my imagination, I was also tensing my neck with impossible fierceness that would have had people believing that I was She-Hulk lifting the Empire State Building. So here I am, sitting in the urgent care, feeling like a fool, trying to figure out how to explain to my mother, whom I have been complaining to about my neck pain for days, that I didn't just injure myself, but I literally slipped a vertebrae due to a hardcore self-pleasure session. Yeah, right. Like I'm taking this one to my grave. I'm sure the doctor could see the wheels turning in my head. I honestly have no idea, I said, half laughing at the absurdity of it all. But deep down, I knew the truth. I, in the most ironic sense of the phrase, fucked up. Moral of the story, if you're going to engage in some heavy self-love, maybe take a break and give yourself a stretch in between. Keep it spicy, folks, but not so spicy that you end up in the urgent care, not having to dodging explaining that vigorous activity caused your vertebrae to shift. And remember, not every Labor Day needs to be the labor intensive.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
That's kind of how it ended. Almost the same way. Next one is by Excellent Ad 7332. This person puts, about 13 months ago or so, I underwent a sleeve gastrectomy, which is where a surgeon cuts out the majority of your stomach so that you can't eat a lot of food anymore. It's for very obese people. This is a pretty big surgery, and they put you through a lot of tests before you're allowed to have it. One of these tests is a gastroscopy. Yeah. Gastroscopy. Yeah. That's whenever they sedate you and put a camera down your throat to look at your stomach.
Oh, God. What am I going to wake them? Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like an upper GI thing. Yeah. I was walking to the hospital whenever I realized that I had to.
Maybe if you walked more, you wouldn't have to walk to the hospital.
It's true. Very true. So I was walking to the hospital whenever I realized that I had to have a big and long meeting with the toilet. But that wasn't anything new, since I always had the urge whenever I got a bit nervous. Happens before every job interview as well. So I think, yeah, I can do this after the gastroscopy. I go to the room, lay down, then get sedated. An instant later, to me, I wake up and was ushered into the wake-up room since my gastroscopy was over, and they found no issues. I sat down in the wake-up room and waited. That's whenever I felt my behind was very wet and muddy.
Wait, he shits himself some more?
He shit himself while he was under.
Yeah.
An instant later, if we rate the consistency on a scale of 1 to 5, which 1 is a stone and 5 is pure water, I would rate it a 2.5.
So
Imagine mashed potatoes.
That's more like a 3. Mashed potatoes is not solid at all, unless you have like full fucking potatoes still in there.
Naturally, I quickly jumped up from my seat, and lo and behold, my pants even left a wet stain on the chair.
Jesus, man.
In the end, I walked to the nurse.
Didn't the doctors notice?
Apparently not.
They just laid out on his back, I guess.
In the end, I walked to the nurse, told her what happened, and asked her where the toilet was.
I fucking shit myself.
The nurse looked very weirdly at me and directed me to the toilet.
How come you're a nurse? You've seen this shit all the time.
I cleaned everything up as well as I could and went home. So he sat in mashed potato consistency shit.
Mashed potatoes is more like I swear it's more of a 3. It'd be like fucking a stone, right? Would be like a pine cone. And then 2 would be like a smooth stone. and then 3 would be like mashed potatoes. 4 would be fucking like a soup with like rice and beans.
So what's a 5 then?
5 is a fucking puddle. Like it's like, you know that nasty water you see on the fucking side of the road after a heavy rain the next day.
Yeah.
So it's that. It's fucking straight fucking water.
So
Pretty
what?
much fuck-
So what? The 4 still has chunks.
What?
So the 4 still
Yeah,
has
4 still has chunks in it, and 5 is just pure fucking liquid.
I guess that's a good description there.
See what exactly? So mashed potatoes would be a 3 because it's still kind of solid, but it's not too solid.
Yeah.
And 2's like, you know, still like 1 is a fucking rough pass. Like just pure fucking dry fucking logs. Fucking firewood running through your asshole.
So 2.5 should technically be a perfect shit.
Yes. You don't want it too hard, and you don't want it too wet.
Yeah.
You need it the perfect moisture. But it's just if it's too fucking wet, you'll get anal fissures. If it's too hard, you'll get anal fissures. But that perfect fucking mix of wet and dry, like dog food, that perfect wet and dry. That's how that's pretty much your shit to be.
So that way you don't destroy your hole.
Exactly.
All right. And last one for today is by Death187187. This person puts, I work as a prep cook for a southern-based seafood restaurant in northwest Louisiana, and we do brunch on Saturday and Sunday mornings. I make 3 sheet trays of bacon, but I place raised grills on them so the bacon is crispy. Smart. Well, my screw-up occurred whenever I got the last tray out and turned to put it on the table. Due to the raised grill, the bacon grease splashed off the tray and onto my left arm.
Ouch.
At first it hurt, so I dropped the tray and ran water over the spot, but after my supervisor saw what happened, he immediately said to go to the emergency room.
Beat the hell out of me.
I'm currently in the emergency room getting painkillers and burn cream, probably going to be off a couple of days to recover. The weird part is it smells like bacon in here. I might have flash fried my arm. I have pics if the sub will let me post, but it's already blistered and popped, so it's pretty gross. Also, fuck brunch.
Jesus, man. He burned that quick?
Yeah.
That'd be like just a quick little burn, you know?
No, he poured grease.
Oh, it fell on this. Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Or it's
like,
like splashed a little bit, like when you fucking cook some shit on you.
no, this is,
You gotta back up a little bit.
he says the grease splashed off of the tray, but I'm assuming it was probably,
Like it must have been a good chunk of it.
yeah, like a good
pour.
pour.
Yeah. Ouch.
It's like you flash fry your arm.
Yeah. There was one time where I think I told the story before where I had the water on that hot for too long,
Mhm.
and I went to go wash my hands, and if it was like, why is this cold, but like not cold?
Yeah.
And I know, I was like, oh yeah, I'm burning my fucking hands. That's how hot it was.
Yeah.
But it didn't register as hot at first.
It registered as cold.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, what is wrong with this water?
It's almost the same, like the opposite can be true too, where you can get something so cold it feels like it's burning.
Yeah.
So yeah, your mind plays, like when your mind is like, what the fuck is this?
I don't understand.
Yeah, I could definitely see
I'm
that.
in fucking limbo. And then it finally like I guess it like stunted my fucking nervous system, because it took a second. Like then when it reached my brain, I was like, this is fucking hot, and not hot. This is fucking boiling hot.
Did it leave any kind of blisters or anything?
No, I moved my hand too quick. But mad shit fucking hurt.
Just enough.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem.
Probably left a red mark though, at least.
Yeah, that was fucking bright red. I'm like, damn, that fucking hurt.
Yeah, Reddit, they post some stupid shit. Like,
Reddit.
you sit in mashed potatoes. You teach your cat to be a spoiled child, even more than what it already is. Because cats are little fuckers as it is.
You find out about Lego pieces and their ability to transform into anything. Truly anything. You can make anything your imagination can come up with.
Their motto of build your imagination is,
Oh, I sure will.
and next you're going to see a Lego blow-up doll. Just cut yourself all up.
They probably put like a fucking actual flashlight in the middle though.
I don't know.
So they would lock in place.
Would lock in place. Don't put it past some of these people. They'll build anything.
If you build it, I'll fuck you.
That should be the new scientist's motto. If we can build it, we can fuck it.
That'd be fucking insane.
We'll build it. Will you fuck it though? Anything else to add before we head out tonight?
No, I guess I'm good.
Cool.
Long day at work. Time to hit the hay.
Again,
I live in a farm.
Again, sorry guys for the couple of weeks that we've taken off, but we're back now. So
We're back and we're better than ever.
we're sorry if you didn't miss us.
If you did miss us, or if you didn't miss us, guess who's back?
Your worst nightmare. All right. Well, with that, we will see you guys on the next one.